Hi everyone! How we all doing? By the way, Rin, the Trump pro se thing isn't true. That was a misfiling. Just wanted to cut that off before that gets spread around as misinformation. I know. It would have been great for us, but not true. Hi everyone, welcome to Tinfoil Tuesday. We're gonna go ahead and do, what we normally do. We're gonna look at conspiracy theories, debunk them, laugh at them, and play bingo. First person to win bingo gets a gift sub. If we do a hype train, level 5 gets us the tinfoil armor. Rachiology with 100 bits says whoop whoop, Hannah time. Tucker White with 45 bits says, so I picked up medicine today and paid $109.63 for 2 drugs that I know for a fact cost a fraction of that to produce. Healthcare in this country is a fucking scam. Yep. Siberian Winter with 15 months says 15 months of conspiracies, laughs, and insanity. Thank you for being a wonderful community, and thank you, Hannah, for the fun streams. Thanks for watching. Is there anything else? Logarth, thanks for gifting a sub. Meek with 45 bits says Tate flew too close to the sun. Andrew Tate got his YouTube channel banned, which is good. Bardlock Moses, thanks for 24 months. 2 years, that is, wow. Happy 2nd anniversary. I'll be back in just a second, guys. 1 sec. Sorry. We did it. How's everyone? Oh, dang it. I always forget. I forget the thing. The colors on this barely show up on the camera anyway. It's a trans pride thing, but it just shows up as white on the camera, even though it's blue, pink, and white from top to bottom. Elegant Disarray, thanks for 12 months with Prime, says, found you and Jake through your coming out video and have seen nearly every stream since, including the entirety of both subathons. You, Jake, Baja, Sarah, and this community have brought me more joy and comfort over the years than I can express. Thank you. No problem. Thanks for watching. I'm glad that, our parasocial company has meant something to you over the years. The FBI said sensitive compartmented information documents were in the Mar-a-Lago Hall, so charges have to be filed. That'd be nice. 97% to level 1 on the hype train. We're targeting for level 5 so we can get the tinfoil outfit. Moira Soma, thanks for 16 months at tier 2, says 16 months. Soon we will welcome a new baby. Exciting. Hype train level 1 complete. I gotta get a new P.O. box so you guys can send me shit. 53% to level 2. What happened to the old P.O. box? We just don't have it anymore. And I live like an hour and a half away from it now, so. The new Sonic Frontiers trailer. Haven't seen it. Reachology says, you know how you get embarrassed asking for bits? Well, have this clip. Just play it whenever a hype train kicks in. Oh god, what is it? Doopy doopy doop. I'm Hannah. Give me all your money in bits form so I can give it all to my fiance who is better than me. Doopy. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, good day, Hannah. Hope you're doing well. Also here in time for bingo. Overthought, thanks for gifting a sub. 94% to level 2. Unicorn Fart SD says, could I have a sub, please? Maybe. If someone in the audience is generous. Moira Soma, thanks for gifting a sub to Unicorn Fart SD. Level 2 complete, I think. How do? I'm alright. 19% to level 3. I'm just excited to get into the conspiracy stuff. I want to be completely in the tinfoil bullshit. Forrest Espion, thanks for 300 bits, gets us to 33% to level 3. 33. The conspiracy people care about that number for some reason. I know the reason. Bumble Homestead with 200 bits. Now we're at 43%. Yes, Chris is back, so we do have more CC content. he took 3 weeks off or so. Why would you tinfoil bullshit? To seal in the flavor. Someone said there was a Sonic Frontiers trailer. Ooh. Didn't need to do that. 47% to level 3 on the hype train. Also for the general tinfoil file. Inside the QAnon Queen's cult. Nice. Thank you. Let's take a look at the new Sonic Frontiers trailer. It's probably going to be bad. 47% to level 3 with 3 minutes left. Boo!
Submit. Your reckless actions endanger the world.
The gameplay I've seen so far of this just looks like so mediocre. And I like some Sonic games. Let me be clear, I like Sonic. I like the Sonic Adventure games. I even like Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, I like the 3D Sonic games, but I don't know, it just seems uninspired. 50% to level 3, and I don't know how this is gonna work with the open world thing. I don't know. Overthat says, not really tinfoil adjacent, but 2 of Whitmer's would-be kidnappers convicted, and on her birthday. I saw that. 4 have been convicted so far. 2 were acquitted for stupid reasons.
Is that you?
And I'd say that's tinfoil related, because they were conspiracy theorist, right-wing, like, ANCAP assholes. Tucker White says, since the trailer is getting cut from the YouTube release, I can drop the following. Hannah once held alien orphans hostage on a planet in the Sirius system just to get a Coke Zero. No one will believe you. I like that Phoenix Rising game. Like, it didn't have the same charm as Zelda, because I think the Nintendo, like, designers just have a certain charm to the world building and stuff, but it was fun. Minute left on the hype train, only 50% to level 3. It's Tinfoil Tuesday, guys. This is the one day of the week that we have to do level 5 for the armor. I'm not trying to be a big bitch about it. Forrest Espion, thanks for gifting a sub. Rachology says, better copy of the Sonic trailer. Oh no! It's this thing! God damn it! Moira Soma, thanks for gifting 2 tier 1 subs. Forrest Espion, thanks for subscribing for 2 months, says you're welcome. Nick Snort, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Running up that hill. Ooh, I do like the idea of having powers where if you run in a circle really fast, it does stuff. I've always liked that speedster trope. Overthought says, I see big titty Sonic, I give bits. Radiant Baby, thanks for gifting a sub. Getting us over level 4. Dr. Gamble, thanks for 26 months, says, what the fuck did I just walk in on? Don't worry about it. How you doing? Heathen Child 1987, thanks for gifting a sub. Bardlock Moses gifts 5 tier 1 subs, and we do it! Level 5! Woo!
Not run forever. Leave. Immediately.
Grimthorpe with 100 bits says level 5 hit. Indeed. I don't know. Ew. Wait, what? Oh no. Pre-order and you get a fucking treasure box? Is this game gonna have loot boxes? Oh god. Can we not? Can we not do Sonic loot box? Ugh. Hydrate. I thought we were done with loot boxes. I thought they'd moved on to just focusing on microtransactions for things like Fortnite. I hope I'm misinterpreting that and that's not literally just like a loot box mechanic, because that's so bad. Made a deal with no. I got that song stuck in my head. All right, let's get into the conspiracy shit, shall we? It's been a while. We should probably start with our good friend Chris CC here, Westchester County. One sec. Did first name bunch of numbers try and do a thing and it didn't work? Yeah, you'd have to talk to Twitch about it, because that'd be an internal system things. So you'd have to contact Twitch support. Sorry about that.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris. From New York, Westchester County. It's 8/19/22. Dum Dum Show's back. You gotta love it. At the supermarket. You know what the Dum Dum Show is? The Dum Dum Show is for dummies.
I assume Chris is mad that once again people are sometimes wearing masks publicly and that offends him greatly. Sorry, I missed a link. Where was it? Also, Michigan. Oh god. What is this about Michigan? The plan to make Michigan the next space state. Residents are up in arms about a proposed spaceport project, first of its kind in the Midwest, which would involve launching rockets near the shoreline of Lake Superior. I don't have an inherent problem with that, as long as there were, like, environmental regulations and stuff that made sure it was fine, but I'm guessing there won't be.
Are you a dummy? I bet you are! If you still think we live on a spinning wet ball.
Wet ball.
Anyway, hey, look, I was a dum-dum too. I used to go down to the Javits Center and look at the bullshit concept cars. Remember those fucking things? You know, these luxury car companies would come up with these cars that never make it to production, you know, that are off the...
Does Chris understand the point of concept cars? Like, I've been to the Detroit Auto Show before. My dad took me when I was younger, because he was in the car business, and he was going for some reason, or he got free tickets, or whatever. So one year I went to the Detroit Auto Show. I don't really like cars, but it was still interesting to go to a convention like that, and they did have a few concept cars. Concept cars are basically cool marketing material. It's a bunch of the different companies coming and showing off the cars they actually have, but as a way to kind of lure you to their area to talk about things, because it's an industry conference, you know, where people are interacting and learning about the new products other people in the field are working on. They'll have concept cars, cool futuristic looking vehicles that aren't anywhere close or near ready to be in production, but look at what we could do, right? Look at these interesting theoretical ideas or really high-tech concepts we have that we can't mass produce into a car right now, but are theoretically possible or just interesting to think about, right? At no point are concept cars touted, at least not these days. I don't know what it was like decades ago, but like, ever since I've been alive, concept cars have always been like a, wouldn't this be interesting thing? A look at what the future might hold thing, not we're literally going to put this into production.
Well, like Jetson cars or something. Anyway, look, it's... hey, look, I was trained too. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Of course I was. I was trained for many decades. But then I finally figured something out. I finally figured out that we're not spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. I finally figured out that we are not traveling with the sun in space at 66,000 miles per hour. I also figured out something too, that we're not traveling in space with the galaxy at 500,000 miles per hour, because I don't feel a goddamn thing down here. It's
Flat Earth on the bingo card.
still as water. Nothing. No movement.
And
no,
filming in car, of course.
nothing. Of course, when I was growing up, the solar system wasn't moving, it was stationary.
No, it wasn't. Why does Chris think this? This is the weirdest thing Chris brings up very occasionally. He is adamant that when he was a child, that he was taught that the solar system was stationary, which it is not. I mean, it's all relative anyway, but the solar system is not stationary relative to other things in the fucking galaxy we're in. Like, he went to school in, like, the 70s. Like, he didn't go to school in the 1850s. I just don't think he was paying fucking attention, and he assumes because he doesn't remember being taught a thing, that somehow means that it's not true? First name bunch of numbers says, we're not traveling, we're driving. Well, that does require a license on public galaxies.
I don't know why. When I saw that a few years ago, I was like, what? Wait a minute. Was I taught a different type of science?
No, you just weren't listening, Chris!
I mean, it's just like, holy shit, man. Look, this is it. This is all, I mean, look, all of the shit that they put out there is to make you think you're insignificant, that you're nothing, that you can't change anything, that all you are good for is a 9-to-5 job, pumping out some kids, and paying the government money. They don't want you to think anymore, obviously. Once they rolled out that thing 2 years ago, and I saw how many people went for it.
He's talking about COVID, because he doesn't believe COVID is real, I guess, or I don't know if he thinks it's manufactured, or if he genuinely doesn't believe it exists. I don't remember.
It scared me, okay? It scared me because I had people coming against me, telling me that I'm an idiot for not taking something that I did not want to take.
Then don't be an idiot. Like, other people have the right to tell you you're an idiot. Other people have the right to tell me I'm an idiot. That's fine. But that's like how this goes. It's a two-way street, Chris. You're calling other people idiots because they don't think the earth is flat. So don't other people get to call you an idiot for the opposite?
Ingest in my body, because I knew.
Ingest in your body?
I felt it was wrong. Okay? And that's why I never did it. I never will.
Tucker White says, Hannah, you're a fucking idiot. Send tweet. Like tweet.
They made you think that you were...
Idiot thinks they're a genius on bingo? You betcha.
A rebel. A Trump-liker. Whoever it may be. They made you think all that. They made you think you were risking the lives of other people because you weren't falling for it.
You are risking the lives of other people, and it's not falling for it. You're just an idiot.
Okay, they made you think that you were going to get your parents sick and they were going to die.
Yes, that's something you are risking, Chris, if your parents are still alive.
But as I look around now, the only people that are sick around me have decided to go along with it. The people who haven't aren't. That makes a lot of sense, guys. Let's find out what politician's sick this week. I guess they want some time off. It's great. I think...
Chris, people like Biden get COVID more often because they're meeting probably hundreds of people a day. Like, if anyone's gonna catch a disease like this, I would bet it would be the president or other politicians that are regularly, for their job, meeting with hundreds of people a day. Just room to room, people coming to you and shaking your hand and saying, That's not surprising, Chris, but Biden is vaccinated. He's fine, even though he's a million years old. He's fine.
Now it's only 3 or 4 days of quarantine. You see, they really had it made when it was like a week or 15 days.
Boy, why did the time of the sickness go down, Chris? Huh. I wonder if there's anything as like an independent variable that could be causing the amount of time that one feels ill with COVID to have shrunk on average. Could it be the amount of people in the world who have been vaccinated, you idiot, and get less severe cases? Tea with Goblin says, what if I told you that you could understand science and have a healthy skepticism of capitalist paradigms? Remember, it's a fully automated luxury gay space communism.
Just say I got it, I don't know. Whatever. Hey, that's it. That's all. I'm going to take 15 days off. Oh, man, how much fun. How much fun I could have had with this if I was younger. You know what I'm saying? And oh man, I could have had a field day with it. It would have been great. Anyway, look, the possibility.
Chris apparently feels the want or need to take advantage of everyone and everything around him, so he assumes other people do the same. Kind of weird. Missed your bits? Sorry. Muddy says, "What's up, Hannah and everyone? I made fan art of Miro and his favorite arm drones. Not safe for work, but very cursed and extremely low effort." Oh, God. Hold on, where did it go? Where's the link? Alright. I see.
Possibilities would have been endless with this nonsense that they rolled out, that everybody bought, that everybody decided to.
Anadon Earhart, thanks for 19 months. Hydration check. I can, sure. You're living in fear on the bingo card? Yeah.
Believe. And now look at you. I hate to say it.
Is the novel over? We have one more episode left, so tomorrow we'll be doing the last part of the book we've been reading of Peter's. So come join us, and you can watch the VODs of the first 2 parts if you'd like. Basically, it's so far it's like a 6-hour audiobook of me reading Peter Hanna, the conspiracy theorist QAnon guy. He wrote a novel. So far I've been reading through it and talking about it and commenting on it. So far, it's been about 6 hours, so tomorrow, it'll probably be about a 9-hour audiobook, basically. So, yeah.
I wish you well, but unfortunately, the future doesn't look too good when it comes down to ailing. You want to see ailing problems? Yes, there you go. Gotta be careful these days now. So, anyway.
Has CC inferred his wife hates him? No.
Rainbows. I want to talk to you about rainbows.
Okay.
Because the only way we can actually make a rainbow here is to continuously spray water. And there you go, you get a rainbow. See, the rainbows that you see up in the sky, I believe.
I have no idea what he's about to say, but it's good. I have a feeling deep in my gut it's gonna be one of the dumbest things we've ever heard him heard him say. Homoerotic race car says, "COVID deniers make me so angry. My dad got triple vaxxed and still almost it killed him. Get vaccinated, get boosted, practice social distancing. It still isn't over."
Well, first off, they're curves or they're circular. I don't get a chance to see the circular ones very often, unfortunately. I always see the half ones, which sucks.
He has hard opinions on rainbows. This is the hardest opinion I've ever heard, like, a straight white man have about a rainbow. I only get to see the half once. It sucks! Tea with Goblin says, "I see her shiver with, condensation." Oh, I see you shiver with condensation.
But anyway, I mean, we all know that's obviously because of the dome up there. And it's actually projecting whatever we have up there, whatever it may be. I don't know what the material is. Nobody does. We all know it's up there, though. But that's what's projecting this rainbow. And
Chris thinks that rainbows are the reflection of the dome covering flat Earth. Chris, we know what rainbows are. It's light refracting through water in the atmosphere. What are you doing, Chris? This is why they happen after it rains, because there's small, water particulates still in the air. Like a lot of them. Logard says, "Conspiracy theorist voice, someday I'll find it. The rainbow connection." Lily Love Stuff says, "You haven't heard my mother's former cult leader talk about rainbows." And Tiger White says, "No, Hannah, rainbows are God's way of saying..."
Gay!
But you see, the thing is the ones we see in the sky, we cannot recreate.
Yes, we can! Chris, what do you think the difference is between a rainbow that you, like, spray with a hose? They're the same exact thing. You just need a bigger hose. Go to a waterfall. Waterfalls sometimes will produce, like, rainbow effects. Like, what are you talking about, Chris? Chris, you idiot! What is wrong with you?
Okay, and
Tucker White says, yes, I know, it's actually lightning and thunder. Don't at me.
how else to explain this? You can never get to it, you can never go to it, you can never grab it.
I don't know. The movie Leprechaun, I think, begs to differ. Logarth says, I think hose size may be a touchy subject with CC.
Okay. And I believe that God, the creator, he or she, or whoever it may be, has created something too with the sun and the moon. Like, we can build an amateur rocket or go out and buy one for, what are they, $250,000? Or whatever it may be. It's never going to get there if you point it to the moon. Of course, you're going to have to do the, mathematics of where the moon's going to be in 5 minutes or however long it takes to get up 70 miles. Or
Takes longer to get to the moon than that, Chris.
100 miles or wherever it may be there.
He thinks the moon is only 100 miles away, in fairness, so...
Being projected down. Is it a projection? Is it something else?
Holographic moon sun on the bingo card. He's doing a lot today. Tucker White says, it's not often you hear chuds refer to God as a dame. I do find that interesting. Yeah, he's completely fine with gendering God, however, for some reason. He's very transphobic, though, so it's weird to me that he's not conservative on that one thing.
I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I don't believe it's a solid object. I believe it's exactly what a rainbow is. You know what I'm saying? You know, that it's not something that you can touch. It's not something you can grab.
I didn't expect the hot take that the moon is like a rainbow, but here we are. This is the level we're at. I feel like I'm a parent to a small child who's like, Mom, Mom, Mom. What? What, Baja Jr.? Is the moon like a rainbow? No, the moon is not like a rainbow. Overthought says, he's wrong, the moon is on my TV, it's 10 feet away, be right back, gonna pull a Buzz Aldrin.
You know, it's not something that you can, it's not tangible, it's not real, okay? And that's what the sun's like. It's the same thing. You might feel heat coming out of it, but the creator can create all sorts of shit in this flat land that we live in here. This level ground covered in a dome, a stadium, if you want to call it, a college, okay? You know, that's what all of this is. That's why you're here. Why you chose to be here, I have no idea. Why I chose, I have no idea, because unfortunately it's run by this corrupt billionaires and generations that all of them have money.
Accidentally based on the bingo card?
And they want slaves, and that's what you are. You're a slave, just like myself. You know, we're all slaves to this system until we break out of it. They have created all of this because they want control. And they don't want you to understand what your potential is. And your potential is a lot further than you think. Okay? You can manifest things, but you've got to put your mind to it. Okay? And break out of the chain of this nonsense that they have been lying to you since you've been a kid, unfortunately. And that's how you get people. You know, you tell them something when they're a child.
What do I think it would take to tell Cece the truth and have it said even a little bit for Cece? He'd have to go to space. He'd have to literally go to space. And even then, I think there's a higher chance he'd go into like a fugue state and completely disassociate from himself rather than accept that he's built years and years of his life on complete and utter bullshit. I don't even want to imagine how traumatic that would be to find out that you've been that wrong, that delusional. Like, I use the word traumatic intentionally. That must be shocking.
You tell them something when they're younger. I got two people giggling in the back over here because they see the vanity. Oh, look at her. She's going, oh, that's so stupid.
Chris has a license plate that says it's flat, by the way. At least it used to. It's possible it's different now. But he has a flat Earth vanity plate.
That's so stupid that NASA lies. Yeah, have you taken a look?
Oh, his is the one that says NASA lies. Sorry. It's flat as a different person. Mark Sargent might have it's flat. Chris has NASA lies.
At fucking NASA? Have you taken a look at anything that they have done at all? Take a look at it.
Yeah, I've seen the moon landings and stuff. They're pretty cool.
Pick a year. Pick anything.
1969, just pulling one out of a hat for no reason. What was NASA doing in 1969? Oh, nothing important. Don't worry about it.
What you want? You want to go back to 67, or do you want to go back to Russian, the China tapes, just 4 years ago? Not even 2 years ago. What are they doing? They're on the dark side of the moon, aren't they? Why don't we have any fucking photographs of that? Why don't we have any videos of the dark side of the moon, except that pathetic little fucking thing that they give you, this live feed?
He knows that the dark side of the moon would be, dark? Can I just hand him a Polaroid that's completely black and be like, there you go. That's the dark side of the moon. What do you want, Chris? Meek says, Chris's mental state after being proven wrong could be a book series. Siberian Winter with 100-bit says we need to send Chris to the only place that'll make him face reality.
Space!
Which is absolutely the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen in my fucking life. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. It's so fake and so bad. I think a 5-year-old could probably do better on their computer. And what about Beetlejuice? You know what I came across something the other day. They have a live feed for Beetlejuice now from James Webb fake telescope, which is, I don't know what the hell they're doing with that. No idea, but so this fake telescope is apparently pointed at Beetlejuice. It's not looking at anything else anymore. It's just a live feed. And they're waiting for it to go supernova because they've got to figure out how to tell people that this thing is dimming for some reason or another, and they can't come up with another explanation.
Why would they have to come up with an explanation other than the correct one, Chris? Dr. Gamble says, why don't we have any videos of this except for that video of this thing?
Oh, that it's going to go supernova. Oh man, I mean it's so bad. It just gets worse. What did I see the other day? I saw.
In case you're wondering, this is what the far side of the moon looks like. Oh, very nice. I don't know. I like Moon Classic. I like the bigger craters. This side has a lot of smaller craters. I'm just not feeling it. I don't think. I don't like the moon from the back. Okay. I only like the moon from the front.
Something on the science.
I only like full frontal moon, okay? What goes on the dark side is none of my business.
Bullshit channel about this new galaxy that they found that's paper thin. That's one thing I never understood either. You know, Saturn. Okay, we were always told that the rings on Saturn are paper thin. They're as thin as...
What?
Paper. What the fuck are you talking about? They're supposedly meteors the size of fucking houses in there. That's what the scientists have told.
Tea with Goblin says the moon doesn't have a big round oily butt. Pass. And Chromatic Cuttlefish yells, in proportion they're paper thin.
But meanwhile we have a scientist telling us that it's
bold to assume Chris knows what a proportion is.
Thin as paper. It's just it's such bullshit. They don't even know their own stories anymore. They can't figure it out. One astronaut says we see the stars. One astronaut says we don't see the stars.
Dr. Gamble says this will be what happens if you send folks like CC to space. This is we've watched the Avenue 5 airlock scene. I agree, it would probably go about like that.
One astronaut says, well, I can't remember about the stars. I can't remember about this. And you buy all of this shit. These people buy all of it. All the fucking nonsense that NASA puts out there is just, that's news. That's how it is. They know. I mean, there's only been like under 500 people up into space, and they're all militarized. They're all part of something up there, you know, but yet everybody believes it.
William Shatner is militarized? Because William Shatner has technically been in space. Ray Geology says, I don't know what he's referring to with the James Webb Space Telescope. It doesn't have a video camera, so there's no live feed. It's taking lots of photos at a lot of different places, though. And Homoerotic Race Car says CC needs a kindergarten teacher to explain space to him. Maybe then he'll understand. This reminds me, the other day there's a Flat Earth subreddit, because of course there is, and it's literally full of people who believe in Flat Earth. So someone posted something, and I wasn't trying to be mean at all. I don't do that off of stream, because, you know, I want to I'm not just doing this for my own self, you know, aggrandizement. Maybe on stream a little bit. But off stream, it's more about, like, I actually want to try and get through to some people and maybe teach them something that might make them think. So they posted some meme that had a misunderstanding of something. I think they were, like, conflating elevation with latitude or something. It was really stupid. But I was like, hey, just so you know, that's not how this works, blah, 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 blah. And the subreddit banned me. I got banned for pointing out that their understanding of how that works was incorrect. So that's a shame. Lily Love Stuff says, 10 plus years ago, I remember talking about Betelgeuse going supernova. This is back when I was assisting my high school astronomy teacher out of our school planetarium with teaching 3rd and 5th graders astronomy. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, William Shatner was a Starfleet admiral, but he got demoted. He wanted the demotion, though, so it's fine.
That's it. There's not a single
Flat Earth on Bingo doesn't understand how cameras work.
person that's ever been up there that is a regular person. That's not part of the military. Don't you seem to understand? The military is under fucking... Oh! I don't know. I lost my train of thought now with that nonsense. Fucking people. Okay. Anyway. So, you know, back to what I was talking about, you know, with the sun and the moon. You know, these are not tangible objects. These are objects that you can never reach. I don't know. I mean, you know, the rocket, it's my belief or my thought is maybe the rocket would just continuously go after this object and then finally just crash into the dome and it would explode. And I'm sure they've already done this. They have all the money in the world to do it. You know, my God, they have everything. I'm sure they've tried it over and over and again. But yeah, no, you have potential, and this is the potential that you have. Okay? You're a lot smarter than you think. And that's the problem. That's the problem with everything that's around us.
The problem is you're not as smart as you think, Chris. That's your problem.
Because they want you to become trained rats that are
Beetlejuice about to go supernova? I knew it was going to be this clip.
It's showtime.
living in
Beetlejuice. I'll save the last one for later.
a farm with a fence. Okay? You're fed well. Got to pay for your house, though, right? But my point is, that's what they want you. They want you to live like a caged animal. And they want you to think that way. And when you think that way, you live that way. And you live that life. That reality. Because it's almost like you're creating that reality for yourself.
I already said it when talking about the star, yeah, but that's spelled differently. It's about intent, Rin. Don't you know how magic works? Jesus. Habitual Dodo with 20 months says Beetlejuice. See, that one did it. That would do it.
9 to 5, work 50 years, retire, whatever it may be. Maybe have a kid, maybe not. Who knows? There's so much more potential for you. Wake the fuck up. Break the chains. Understand what the fuck we live on. Start with NASA. Start wherever the fuck you may have to start. Start with anything. And just look at it. Look at it. Study it. And understand it. And then maybe you might understand Flat Earth. I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos. Let me be a part of your life.
So Chris is doing great. He's doing just great, I assure you. He's posted multiple times since he came back, by the way. But we're only going to do the one today. That was the most interesting thing. The rest is, well, bullshit. Let's take a look at the bingo card. I know we got a decent amount. Recording in car. Flatter. Oh, no. That's the wrong one. Railcast, thanks for 19 months, says coming up on 2 years. And Stone Corbell says it never fails to make me laugh how much disgust he says his thank you for watching spiel with. Idiot thinks they're a genius. Page 2. You're living in fear. Ironic. Flat Earth. Accidentally based. I think that's it. Oh, holographic fake moon. Is that still on there? Yeah. Holographic and or fake moon sky. Cool. No, not how science works. This is a brief one. You guys remember Nathan Thompson? He's fallen a long way since we've been covering him. Nathan Thompson used to be one of the most prolific flat earthers that we'd cover all the time when we started this channel, or started this show. After getting basically excommunicated from flat earth communities for allegedly stealing from other flat earthers, he's basically down to doing this, which is arguing with random old guys at a park under a public gazebo. So, let's take a look at this. After I read a bits message I missed, apparently. MH Darkbeast said, where is it? Did you see this nonsense, Hannah? Pretty much the same bullshit they spewed for Captain Marvel, and the final comment is really yikesy. Oh, well, that's stupid. Fuck them. Alright, here's Nathan Thompson arguing with this guy.
Well, let me ask you this. If space is real, it would exist next to Earth's atmosphere, right?
No.
Okay, so something...
Earth's atmosphere is part of space.
Hold on, I gotta turn this up.
Well, let me ask you this. If space is real, it would exist next to Earth's atmosphere, right?
No.
Okay, so something...
Earth's atmosphere is part of space.
Space is a vacuum.
No, it's not.
Space is not a
No,
vacuum?
it's not. There's a lot of...
So why do they need to wear spacesuits?
Because it's not the same environment that we live on here on the Earth.
It's a
Space is a vacuum.
vacuum 10 to the negative.
Why does a fish die when he's taken out of the water? Because he doesn't have his environment.
Okay, but they say space is a vacuum 10...
Who's they?
NASA.
Okay.
They say space is a vacuum 10 to the negative 17 torr. That's why they have to have airlocks in the ISS. That's why they wear spacesuits. That's why they have a Sandusky Research Center where they have a giant vacuum that's not even close to as powerful as the alleged vacuum of space. But space is a vacuum, sir. So you just said Earth's atmosphere is part of space?
Space is not a vacuum. A part of space may be a vacuum.
Tucker White says, this should be read as an old person. Leave me alone, Sonny. I'm enjoying time with my woof woof before I croak in 10 minutes.
Entirety of space is not a vacuum.
Okay, so part of space. So would that part of space be next to Earth's atmosphere?
Some of it, I guess.
Some of it, okay. So can you have gas pressure without a container?
Probably.
You can with gravitational pull, when gravity is like pulling on the atmosphere and holding it to the Earth's surface. Yeah. Muddy says, ah yes, my favorite response to any argument. No, it's not. And nails the Tabaxi with 100 bit and says, this guy is confused why you wear a coat when it's 15 outside, isn't he?
Probably not. That's the correct answer. Yeah, so Earth's atmosphere is pressurized. And you're saying it
Yeah,
runs...
I think they think vacuum means suck. They hear the word suck, so they think vacuum.
to a vacuum.
It's gravity that holds the
Gravity's not
the
a physical.
atmosphere in.
Gravity's not a physical container. And here's another problem. Gravity is the strongest at Earth's surface. Allegedly. Let's pretend gravity's real. The farther you get away from Earth's surface, the weaker the gravity gets.
No. Do you
No?
know? Do you know that you have a different weight at the North Pole than you do at the equator?
I'm not
you
talking
weigh
about-
differently. Wait, we're still on the Earth.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, at the equator, you don't weigh the same as you do at the North Pole.
That has nothing to do with what
It has everything to do with what you're talking about.
Gravity is allegedly the strongest on Earth, right?
No! Gravity is the weakest force. Gravity is the weakest fundamental force, sir.
But not necessarily
The farther
on the
you
surface.
get away
Not
from-
necessarily on the surface.
I know we're not talking about the surface, bro.
Well, then why is it I can stand up on the top of this thing and I can drop a 100-pound weight and I can drop a penny at the same time and they'll both hit the ground at the same time? Why is that? Why is that?
That's because it's a relative medium that's less dense than the object you're dropping, and they travel at the same rate of speed. Okay.
I don't think a penny has the same density as a weight. So I think if it was just a buoyancy thing like they often think, the flat earthers, I don't think they'd fall at the same rate. Luca the Crow, thanks for gifting a sub.
But doesn't that...
And the reason they travel is gravity is what...
Gravity asserts mass plus mass.
The guy's right on that one. Like, buoyancy wouldn't function as it does without gravity. If you're calculating buoyancy, you need the gravitational, like, constant in there as one of the, I'm blanking on a word, brain fart. Variables, one of the variables.
Mass divided by distance squared equals...
Whoa, slow down. I don't think as fast as you.
That's all right.
So that's what Nathan's up to. My mic is on point today? What does that mean? I haven't, it's been, well... No, because you're around often. I have the same mic. I got a new one recently-ish, but... Oh yeah, that was the whole video. That was the only thing uploaded. Guys, Gina has an important message for us, okay? Are you guys ready for this important communication from our Lord and Savior, Gina? Okay? Important emergency message.
When I say it's the insects, it's the insects. Listen to the difference. The insects, the frequency is so high-pitched. Listen to it. I want to come in here. I want you to listen. Please, you all. This is important.
This is important.
Listen to how high-pitched these insect frequencies are. And then when I close the door, you don't hear it. I have to close my door because of the high-pitched frequency coming from those insects out there. It's literally doing something to me. Hello. And you may be noticing too. It's like, this is what it's like, you all. You ever noticed, say you have a device and you plug it into the wall. Okay, let me find a plug-in. You plug it into the wall.
It's your house. Do you not know where the plugs in your house are? Tucker White says, yes, Gina, cicadas do that. Welcome to Tennessee.
Like this. And then you hear a very loud frequency sound coming from it. You know you've seen it. I've seen it. I can't stand it when I hear that frequency. Now listen, as I open up this door, let me make sure I got this volume up, you all. Listen, listen. You hear it? Listen how loud the frequency is.
How loud the frequency is? I think that's amplitude.
It's very
A frequency can be high or low, like it, but it's not. That's not loudness.
very, very loud. That right there is like plugging in an electronic thing in the outlet, and you hear that continuous, whether it be your electric razor or something like that, or even your cell phone when you plug it in. Listen to this. Okay, look. So watch. Can't hear it no more. Cannot hear it no more, you all. And I want to come out here. Their frequency is affecting us. Their frequency. Let me see if I can get this over here. I'm going to try to see if I can put my laptop up here. You like that?
Hey,
They
Spirit
just
Keys.
connected me just like that. These frequencies, I can't go to the edge of the porch. Let me get my laptop, you all. Let me get it. They won't let me go to the edge of the porch. These frequencies, they're very, very, very high pitched, like that high pitched noise we get in our ears. There's no way I can sit out here because it literally, it's going straight into me and it's like irritating. It's not a pleasant sound, you all. It's not. And part of me thinks this. Part of me thinks, that they can use the insects in warfare. They
The fuck, Gina? Muddy says what she thinks is gonna happen if you listen to cicadas for more than 20 seconds. What the fuck was that? Come on.
can. And they can make, they got the insect drones and stuff. They can use insects to destroy crops.
Believe sci-fi technology actually exists on the bingo card.
And affect us in ways that we could have never imagined. With frequency, you all, they can cause it to where these insects, they don't die out. They don't.
The
Now listen to
military
some
is
of it.
making immortal cicadas to annoy Gina.
Stopped. But some of it, it's still going on. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm trying to fold my clothes.
Would I want to talk to Gina? No. That would be depressing.
With the door open because
Peter, I feel like you can poke and prod and ask questions and get interesting responses in sort of a documentary way where you're investigating and really trying to understand a person. Gina, I don't think I could do that too. She's too nice and benign. She's got something going on wrong, obviously, but I don't want to poke and prod at that. I just want to leave her be and hope that she's comfortable.
it's so nice out.
Would I want a dance party with Gina? Yes, she's a great dancer.
But
My makeup is on point, thank you.
I can't. The frequency is too loud. It's too loud at times. And at night, when I have filmed the stars or the moon, and you watch the video, it's such a high pitch frequency. You know that's bound to affect us, you all. It's bound to. No. I can't see them. I can't see the insects. They're everywhere, but I can't see them. There's so many of them, you all. There's so many insects. Now listen, when I open up the door, hear the high pitched. And these aren't cicadas. I'd rather hear cicadas. Is what I'd rather hear. Nothing against the insects, but something is off, the frequency, because it's literally there's been a lot of people complaining of high-pitched frequency that they pick up. I've picked it up, but this time, it's coming
Hydrate.
from the insects. What if the insects, you all, now listen, what if the insects are being bothered by radio frequencies and it's causing them to do that very loud? What if, hello, So I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot, you all. I'm getting hot. What if the insects are being exposed to, look at this, right here. What did I just see this? Look, scientists are warning humanity on insect extinctions, electronic propelled radio waves, harmful effects. Now, I know that I just saw that. It's radio frequencies. What if the insects are getting destroyed too from these radio frequencies, you all? This is too high pitched for me. There's no way I could sit out here and enjoy the outdoors with that such of a high pitched.
Okay, that's enough, Gina. We get it. How about Daniel Pratt? He's angry.
All right, so I put my pathetic, tyrant appeasing, self-censoring version up, but never let it be said that I was one of those fucking cowards that self-censor and code my speech in order to collect shekels from the very system that's murdering us. It is painfully obvious to anyone paying attention. Governments all over the level playing earth are murdering their populations in collusion with Big Pharma, the Bill Gates Foundation, the World Economic Forum.
I'd say thinly veiled anti-Semitism. Guys, overt means literally they come out and say an anti-Semitic thing. That would still be a dog whistle. I get it, it's an obvious dog whistle, and we all know what it means, but that is thinly veiled. He's trying to veil it. Thinly. So it's thinly veiled anti-Semitism.
And God knows who else. It is the vaccines, the COVID vaccine.
No, they're not. I disavow everything he's saying. He's giving medical misinformation. This video is for informing people about medical misinformation and the dangers of it. What he's saying about vaccines is not true. Vaccines have been safe and they are tested. Please get vaccinated. Moira Soma with 100 bits says, I had an argument about negative frequencies with a Muslim the other day. He insisted that negative frequencies was being used in modern times to lure us away from God and make us depressed. I told him the negative frequencies only exist in maths, and he got super angry. He started spamming me with Islamic propaganda. Just another day on Facebook.
Vaccines that are causing the unknown causes of death. This is painfully obvious to anyone paying attention with a backbone to see and accept the truth. Meanwhile, we're surrounded by moronic, brain-dead cowards that deny this obvious fact and will fight those of us speaking the truth and call us terrorists. Why? Well, because that's the new normal. Politically correct speech. Anyone that's studied history knows it's a very popular tactic by Marxists and communists.
Everything I don't like is communism on the bingo card, or it might be worded something like thinks something is communist when it's not.
The governor of New York is now insisting you no longer call people in prison inmates. You must call them incarcerated persons. We don't have, here in the red free state of Ohio, we don't have speed bumps in our parking lot anymore. We have traffic calming devices. We're surrounded by brain-dead, fuckwit, spineless cowards that will not call out, much less react to the tyrants murdering their family members, shoving their bitch-ass heads up their asses, and accepting genocide.
Compares public health measures to genocide on the bingo card. Tucker White says, incarcerated people versus inmates sounds like a distinction without a difference. No, inmates, I understand. It's trying to... Inmates is a bit dehumanizing. I get it. I don't think that's the first thing I would tackle about the prison system is the nomenclature, but I get it. Stone Corbell says, oh no, things are called differently. I'm an old man who can't adapt to anything new.
Joseph Mengele himself couldn't have done it better. And when you call it out, all they can do is tell you to shut up, you thought terrorist. Well, you bitches deserve everything you get. It's incredible, the stupidity that humanity has been brought to. Go ahead and delete it, YouTube. I'll just put up another. I will not be silenced by the true thought terrorist, thought police.
Tucker White says, not C's. Drink, you bastards, drink. Puka, thanks for 21 months.
Ministry of Truth, like YouTube, Twitter, and on and on and on. Fuck you, Susan Wojcicki. You are a mass murderer. You hellbound cunt. I pray.
She's the CEO of YouTube, just so you know. I think he's mad because he got a strike recently. Just letting you know.
You die a painful, suffering death.
Yeah, hello FBI, is that a threat?
You fucking whore.
That is an angry, angry man. What a angry guy. He's just angry. Let's take a look at the bingo card real quick. See what we're at. Tea with Goblin says, sir, you're in your fridge yelling about communists, but obviously we're the ones with a problem. Public health measures compared to the Holocaust. Where is hello FBI? Is that a threat? Page 2, probably? Sorry, Nails said, the most old yelling at cloud I've seen in weeks. Where is hello FBI? Is that a threat? 61. Someone said 32? What was 32? Believe sci-fi tech actually exists. We did have that from earlier, actually. Thank you. And someone else says 82. Thinly veiled anti-Semitism. Cool. Gravity is buoyancy. Yeah. We have flat Earth / gravity is buoyancy. Muddy says, I just remembered I found a groovy conspiracy theory themed song you may enjoy. It's copyrighted, so don't play it on stream. Cool. Thank you. Let's see what else we got.
Hey guys, Dabu7 back at you for another one. And I want to talk about what's going on here with the World Economic Forum. Klaus Schwab and his minions rolling out the beast AI censorship. And this is critical. People got to pay attention to this because people get banned from one site. They think that they can run off and post on another site, and that has worked for some people. They run over to BitChute, Rumble, They leave Twitter, they go to Getter or Truth or wherever it may be. Well, Klaus Schwab and his minions have been watching and paying attention. And one of the authors there, Ingal Goldberg, had proposed that they start to gather information all across the globe from millions of devices, and to capture this information in real time and to merge humans with the AI so that they can oversee all this information and then remove it. They know that when people are getting banned from one platform, they're bouncing over to others to kick out that information.
What's up with the dead guy on the beach you keep seeing? It's a thumbnail for a video. Guy thinks a bunch of bodies are washing up on beaches for some specific reason.
It's the only way that we've been able to survive and to keep the information flowing. Well, now they're looking to end it, to stop it dead in its tracks with this beast AI that's going to go outside.
Overthought says, nice narc glasses, bro.
Of the big sites like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. It's going to go to all of them, the D-Lives, the Rumbles, to all of them, scouring everything with algorithms. And when it picks up keywords like the jabby jab or anything else out there that it doesn't like, you get flagged, you get shut down, and they ultimately get what they want, which is censorship en masse. So this new beast algorithm is being deployed globally. Know this. So from here on out, censorship hitting a whole new level. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. Join me on my other YouTube channel, Dabu777, where I'm going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you guys there. Much love.
Oh, it's another person that doesn't think nukes exist. Which is a common conspiracy theory I'm seeing come up more and more. I don't know if this is just like on the upswing in terms of going through conspiracy
welcome
circles.
To a very important video from aplaintruth.info and questioning everything to find the truth. Are nuclear radiation, is nuclear bombs, is nuclear fallout real? Well, we're going to get into it today.
Oh wow, this person doesn't just not believe in nuclear bombs, they don't believe in like nuclear anything. Damn.
Under 7 chapters, eating radiation, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, fuck you, Shima, spent nuke fuel waste hoax, Chernobyl, Hanford, San Onofre, other examples, and Lookout Mountain, the atomic bomb and moon landing fakery. So we got in the news today about Kim Jong shutting down his nuclear site as Trump declares victory and being able to do it. But all the protests to end the nuclear armament since the 50s, since the 60s, since the 70s, since the 80s, since the 90s, 2000, 2010, we had the Fukushima alleged incident, nuclear radiation in 2011. All of the protests to disarm, disband, because nuclear radiation is so bad it'll destroy the earth, mutually aided destruction. They're going to mutually destroy.
Mutually assured destruction, not mutually aided.
As if we set off the atomic bombs and people protest right and left. Well, people understand it's huge, huge business for these corporations, General Electric, Bechtel, and all the rest of these.
Okay, there are a lot of businesses that make a lot of money. It doesn't mean those businesses aren't real. Like, Walmart makes a lot of money, too. That doesn't mean Walmart isn't real.
And, of course, the United States leads the way in putting together nuclear power plants, alleged nuclear power plants. And China has huge ambitions to continue the onslaught of building nuclear power, even though we could destroy all life on Earth. But look at how much they made in Fukushima.
Does this guy think nuclear power plants can somehow turn into nuclear bombs?
Fukushima, $250 $250 billion on the Fukushima disaster, when in reality, these nuke plants you see like this are just wet surface air coolers to create weather.
HARP weather control on the bingo card. He thinks that the silos and nuclear power plants create weather. That's not what they are doing. They're letting off steam because, I don't know if you know this, nuclear power creates a lot of heat. That's kind of the whole point, is to use the nuclear energy to heat up water and then use that to drive some mechanism to, you know, generate electricity. It's steam. It's steam coming out of the nuclear power plants. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, alleged nuclear power plants. I mean, it's a giant building that power comes out of. Where the fuck does he think the electrons come from? They're Illuminati electrons.
Because we've destroyed the water vapor machines for decades. And we've had many screaming and yelling. Helen Caldicott, who I gave this book, bought it, gave it out to a ton of people because I was a believer in the nuclear crisis. I no longer am. But promoting the nuclear fallout, oh my God, we're going to destroy the Earth, we're going to destroy the Earth, we're going to destroy the Earth. Arnie Gunderson, another
On the bright side, if nuclear weapons were fake, we still got the Fallout games out of it, so that's a win.
Nuclear insider speaking out, getting in all the talk shows, speaking out about it. But one thing you have to understand, one thing it has to be clear, one thing you really got to understand is that energy is free. Tesla demonstrated that back in 19...
Now, look, again, Tesla did a lot of cool stuff, but Nikola Tesla isn't a literal wizard. The man doesn't know everything. I agree that there is, like, energy everywhere that we can utilize, and that he got fucked over, but that doesn't mean energy is literally free, right? You still need to put energy in order to create something like a solar panel, in order to take in that energy or whatever. You still need to, again, utilize the nuclear, like, energy in whatever thing you're using to start the nuclear reaction for your power. Like, you're getting it from somewhere. It's not free.
1905.
Alpaca Scent says, but the guy with the weed drones has unlimited free energy. Yeah, we're not living in that book.
So this is critical to really understand that we've had free energy, and as we've just found out...
I am so confused as to what this graphic is supposed to show. Is that a airplane with a bunch of Dodge Chargers on it for some reason? Or whatever car that is.
In the past year, airplanes, commercial air...
Homoerotic Race Car with 45-bit says, thanks for reminding me Fallout games exist. I'll only be half listening from now on while I play Fallout 2 and overheat my laptop. Sky Comet says, is it a win? Fallout 76 exists too. I'll take that as long as I can still play Fallout New Vegas. And Fallout 4. Don't be mad at me. I like Fallout 4 a lot.
Airplanes don't store fuel in the wings. They'd have to have the equivalent of like 83 Camaros and an A380, which is ridiculous. But let's get into the radiation half-life dangers. This is the long-term effect that's supposed to last for hundreds and thousands, and not only hundreds of thousands, but billions and billions of years.
Depends upon the half-life of the particular material.
So half-life radiation range from a fraction of a second to billions of years, billions and billions. So plutonium-239 is 24,000 years, and uranium-238 is 4.5 billion years. Now the Manhattan Project dropped uranium-235 and plutonium-239 on their Fat Man bomb. So that means that there was shelf life of 25,000 years of radiation on the plutonium and 4.5 billion years of increased radiation to reach the half-life of in Nagasaki here.
Chromatic Cuttlefish says, it's kind of ironic that in the early days of nuclear power in the US, one of their proud boasts was that it would produce electricity too cheap to meter, which is close to the informal meaning of free energy.
So we are told that the story of the uranium, it was 235 that was dropped off, and here we see from the Institute for Energy and Environmental Research, uranium-235 has a shelf life of 704 million years in its half-life. 704 million years. But you see the 238 I mentioned earlier has 4.46 billion years. All right, so let's look at this wonderful gentleman named Galen Windsor. Galen Windsor died in the 80s, but was before the internet, but was trying to tell the world that nuclear radiation, nuclear fission is a great hoax. I mean, there's a 3-hour documentary I'll include in here to go over. But you can...
It's just so weird that he thinks that, like, how would... Like, the entire field of nuclear physics would be a sham if this were true. Like, how does he think this works? That's not how anything works. Does he think just every nuclear physicist is fucking lying? Stone Corbell says, I'm not familiar enough with nuclear physics to explain why, but I'm sure everything he's saying is complete bullshit. Yeah. Like, without going into detail, I've met someone before who is starting a job working with America's nuclear stuff. I don't know the specifics. Baja would know more. But, like, recently getting a job working something in regard to America's, like, nukes. I think it was, like, security or something. I don't remember the exact thing. Like, do you know how many people would have to be involved in order for this to be bullshit? Nuclear physics is a thing, sir.
You can clearly see this man knows what he's doing. I'll go over his bio at the end of this, but take a look at this and you decide for yourself.
You pour it out in the hand, and that's radioactive contamination. Is it radioactive? Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's not good. You shouldn't stick that in your hand, sir.
Very radioactive. Now, decontamination is nothing but scooping it back up and putting it into the bottle. I just now decontaminated my hand. No, I didn't do such a good job. Not good at all. Is it still radioactive? Yeah, that's called residual radioactivity. Now, under the decontamination rules of the government, when you decontaminate somebody like this that's that contaminated, and this is certainly a reportable incident under current DOE regulations, when you decontaminate him, it has to go down a controlled drain so that you don't disperse radioactivity. Do I qualify as a controlled drain?
Oh my god! Why is he doing this, you idiot? What the fuck? Madame Curie died for nothing. Nails the Tabaxi says, conspiracy theorists have obviously never had to work in a group project. The amount of people that would be needed for nuclear power to be fake is staggering. I wish I had their faith in humans to cooperate. Right? Oh my god! What is he doing? I hope this is fake. I hope no one is so stupid that they actually did this.
That material that I just ate is not soluble in body fluids. It's been...
Sky Comet says, if nuclear energy is a sham, what was my nuclear engineer grandfather doing for 40 years? Getting bitches? Oh wait, he's a real-life Mason, so obviously he and his weird purse-wearing buddies were up to no good. In all seriousness, Freemasons are weird dudes, but they're generally a bunch of kindly old men. I like them, or at least like my grandpa's friends. Steve of the Q says it's okay, he's done this thousands of times. He's 27, by the way. And T with Goblin says, sir, that material appears to be possessed by the vengeful spirit of a Japanese ghost. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, Madame Curie's notebooks have to be kept in lead-lined box to this day because they're dangerously radioactive. And Nails the Tabaxi says, also this reminded me that Entropy 02 Half-Life fan sequel is free on Steam now. Time to install that. Nice. What did he eat? Nuclear material. Spicy rocks. That's the one way to put it.
This. It was fired originally at 940 degrees C, where it becomes U3O8, known in the industry as HCl insoluble. In other words, it will not dissolve in concentrated hydrochloric acid, hot. Your stomach has 10th normal hydrochloric acid in it, so it won't even dissolve. The stuff is so fine that it has no texture to it. Doesn't even feel rough. So it's tasteless, odorless, has no texture. How's it supposed to hurt me? Because
Does this guy understand that there are limits to human senses? You not being able to sense a certain thing doesn't mean it doesn't exist inherently. Even though you can't detect it with your sensory organs, we've developed tools that let us sense things that our sensory organs are incapable of sensing on their own. We can only sense what we've evolved to sense. Hydrate.
I've been eating this on lecture tour for 2 years. The state of Washington felt it necessary to confiscate my uranium samples so that I would be safe. Dr. Fulton from the Hanford Environmental Health Foundation called up and he says, "Hey, I heard one of your guys OD'd on uranium today, Galen." And we talked for a little while and he says, "Oh, that was you." And I says, "Listen, I can eat all that stuff I want." He says, "It'll ruin your kidneys." "How are your kidneys?"
Muddy says, "Yum yum yum, gotta sprinkle those radioactive materials onto my chicken like I'm a crackhead version of Hot Ones." And Luca the Crow says, "My god, he actually ate it."
They're eating her! And then they're going to eat me!
Oh my... Oh my god!
They're fine. Well, you should have been chelated within 4 hours. And I mean, you guys are going to follow me around the country and give me...
I gotta look this guy up. Man eats uranium. I'm wondering if he was just like a scam artist, or what? Like, was he just saying it's uranium and it's fake? Or what? What was his name? Galen Windsor. Maps and Mimic says, "Sorry, I just got here. Did this man just say radioactivity is fake and then proceed to do a long suicide by eating uranium?" Yes. It's just so interesting. He doesn't even have like a Wikipedia page. I so badly want to know, like, what in the fuck is this guy's problem? What is this subreddit? Oh god, it's people who invest in nuclear stuff. God damn. Alright, back to the thing.
Chelating agents every 4 hours after I eat it on lecture tour. He says, "We'll give you any medical assistance that you need, Galen. We don't want anything to happen to you." I said, "Did that include turning out the
What does he think the radium girls died of? I have no idea.
SWAT team 4 days ago to get me?" Where are these guys coming from? Well, here's a piece of metal. Density of 19.0. If you know your chemistry and physics, you know that there are only two metals that have that density: plutonium and uranium. Radioactive, pyrophoric, density of 19. Outside of a laboratory, most of you can't tell me whether this is uranium, plutonium, or a mixture of the two.
They claim they died of syphilis? Who?
Now, I said that it's...
Let me see if I can do this and then death. The Radium Girls, Alpaca Scent says, "Then there is Albert Stevens, who was involuntarily injected with plutonium multiple times by the U.S. government and had over 80 times the permitted radiation level allowed for workers when he died." Ugh. Wondering if it was just him, but I don't know. Oh my god. It's a subreddit full of people who don't fucking think nuclear stuff is dangerous. Oh no. Oh god.
Heavy, and it is.
He died more than 10 years ago from leukemia. Galen Windsor is a nuclear physicist of renown who worked at and helped design nuclear power plants in Hanford, Washington, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Morris, Illinois, yeah, this is him. So he died of leukemia. That tracks. Jesus Christ. We're literally watching him kill himself here.
Let's see if it's radioactive.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it is.
Chromatic Cuttlefish says, he has a point. Low-grade radioactive materials in a non-bioavailable form are relatively lower risk, and there are natural radiation sources that far exceed the nuclear industry limits. Radon in Colorado basements, for example, or the beach in Wales with a pitch blende seam that's hotter than hell's hinges. I wouldn't recommend doing any of that with something like a radioactive strontium salt or polonium salt or anything high level. Radioactivity exists at different activity levels.
Pyrophoric, what does that mean? Pyro, fire. Black, on the end. The spark that just came off there is pyro, fire, burn. If it's plutonium, I just contaminated this area of Arizona in excess of the EPA's limit for 1 square mile of surface.
How did this guy not fucking get arrested? Like, again, I get it, and he could... Talking about, like, the public's fears about, like, nuclear energy, that's completely valid. Nuclear energy is a wonderful thing, and I want us to invest in it more. I want us to have people understand that, like, incidents like Fukushima or, Chernobyl were freak accidents that aren't something that, like, happens regularly. It's not usually an issue as long as you are, you know, maintaining your facility correctly and building it to modern standards. But, like, this is overcorrecting. This is overcorrecting so hard.
Somebody laughed. It's serious. The end of progress altogether says that I just contaminated you in excess of the limit for 1 square mile. It's now silver on the end. Tomorrow it'll be black because it self-oxidizes, this black color like this, all by itself. Plutonium doesn't.
Nails the Debaxi says, I do hope the camera guy was paid extremely well for this.
That uranium does.
You licked a salt lamp from Bed Bath & Beyond? Yeah, but it wasn't radioactive to my knowledge. We don't talk about the salt lamp. Nails the Debaxi says, I do hope the... I read that one. Rachology says, I'm smoking cigarette. I've smoked many cigarettes. I don't have cancer, so smoking cigarettes doesn't cause cancer. I'm smart. Luca the Crow says, how have we survived this long? I don't know. People like to fuck, so there's a lot of kids that grow up into adults who get to also have kids eventually, and it's trial and error. Overthought says, and for the next trick, I'll pet the elephant's foot. Steve with the Q says, even if everything he's doing is safe, he's not providing enough context for his audience to know what's safe and what isn't. Yeah.
Is it hazardous? Yeah, it is, because they take depleted uranium metal and...
What's the name of this video? The original video is called Witness the Nuclear Fear Scam. Scientist Eats Uranium. By the way, don't eat nuclear material!
Make it into 50 caliber bullets, fire them from shoulder-held weapons. In 1976, they obsoleted tank warfare with these things because it only takes one dog face with one weapon to knock out a 65-ton tank. It'll go through 3 inches of armor plate, and when it comes out the other side, it's that white hot spark that we just made. And the 5 men in that tank are dead because it'll burn all of the oxygen out of the air and burn their flesh. 1976, they obsoleted tank warfare, and you never even knew that. They make
tanks are still used. Russia is using tanks currently to try and invade Ukraine.
10,000 of those bullets every day in the United States.
The Gay Agenda 69 says, wait, you're saying nuclear material is dangerous? Logard says, fun fact, even to this day, stepping within the line of sight of the elephant's foot exposes you to enough gamma radiation that you have about 3 hours to live. Ooh, fun. Lily Lovestuff says, I wonder if that kid who built a nuke was a fan of this guy. And Tea with Goblin says, don't eat nuclear material, political correctness gone mad.
We got enough of an arsenal to sink all of Russia's tanks.
Sky Comet says, I'd like to see these people explain the Demon Core. The Demon Core was a spherical 6.2 kilogram subcritical mass of plutonium, 89 millimeters in diameter, manufactured during World War II by the United States nuclear weapons development effort, the Manhattan Project, as a fissile core for an early atomic bomb. The core was prepared for shipment as part of the third nuclear weapon to be used in Japan, but when Japan surrendered, the core was retained at Los Alamos for testing and potential later use. It was involved in 2 critical accidents at Los Alamos Laboratory on August 21st, 1945, and May 21st, 1946, each resulting in a fatality. Both experiments were designed to demonstrate how close the core was to criticality with a tamper, but in each case the core was accidentally placed into a supercritical configuration. Physicist Harry, DeGuylin and Louis Slotin suffered acute radiation syndrome and died soon after, while others present in the lab were also exposed. I've heard about this. Don't fuck around! Nuclear material! God.
And our boy...
Muddy says, quick sketch of this man shoveling uranium dust into his mouth like it's 3 a.m. and he's hungry for shredded cheese.
In the Defense Department don't even talk about it. Yeah, it's hazardous to your health. Reminds me,
And Alpaca Scent says this guy is using DU shells as an example of, quote, safe uranium, but loads of civilians in Iraq and Afghanistan have developed cancer in the past 2 decades as a result of those.
lead is hazardous to your health, too.
Yes! Yes, it is, sir! Yes, it is! Which is why we don't use it anymore, you fuck! We don't use it in, like, places where people touch it and fucking ingest it. I wondered if he was gonna say something stupid like that, like, they also say cigarettes will cause cancer. Like, yeah, bitch, they do.
Of course, Mr. Windsor was written off as a kook, but during his more than 30 years...
He is, and he died of leukemia, so it is what it is. Don't eat nuclear material if you don't want to die of cancer, kids. Moving on.
Alright, we are back again, and I've been doing a little more research. I've been watching videos on YouTube to see if anyone realizes that this big prosperity land called America is actually ancient Egypt. And there's a channel called Chief Amora, and I do have to say, you have to find this channel and then scroll down. Maybe 1 year ago he made a spectacular video. This is the best video I've ever seen. It's at a point now where you can prove
this person knows that he could have linked it, right? Where is the real Israel? Africa or Western North America? Tea with Goblin says, cut to Queen Elizabeth, the first frantically applied lead-based makeup. But why is one's skin falling off? Must be those pesky Catholics. What's the name of this channel that he's talking about?
It's undeniable evidence that the ancient Israel was in the territory of maybe...
Am I pagan? No.
Las Vegas.
I'm non-religious.
Or Salt Lake City. And I do have my suspicions that, you know, Death Valley, which is not that far from Las Vegas, makes me wonder if that's where Armageddon took place, where, you know, hundreds of millions of people were slaughtered in a catastrophic war.
Lily Lovestuff says, wait, America is Israel, ancient Egypt, and Morocco? Yeah, it's Schrodinger's continent.
Now, something that you have to understand about the Illuminated group.
Are you is you pagan or not was a video title you saw? Gotcha. Sorry.
That love to put, you know, real truth out in the open and mock the masses. It's things like this. Arkansas. Right? Imagine that the real ancient Mount Ararat is in the territory of Arkansas, and they are literally mocking us where Noah's Ark landed. You know, ark and saw, because after the waters receded, Noah and his family would have had to, carve up the ark to make shelter or small houses, or maybe even burn wood for fires or whatever. But it's these little mockery words like ark and saw that you really have to watch for. Now, I do have my suspicions about the location of the Georgia Guidestones. There could be something that took place in the ancient world in this location that would have been very important. Now, someone else had a fascinating theory that the ancient Rome is in the area or location of Washington, D.C.
Washington? He thinks Washington, D.C. is secretly ancient Rome? Sir, we know where Rome was! It still exists! There's a fucking Colosseum!
Since that city sits on 7 hills. Out there by Salt Lake City or, Nevada, way back in the day before the, King of Heaven cursed that whole area, it would have been, beautiful prosperity, the land that flows like milk and honey. Now, something else to think about. This person, this channel, the Chief Mora, he believes that...
I gotta go back. Chief Mora. This has got to be a channel we'll watch sometime, right? Put it under conspiracy. Oh no. Are they... Oh no. Is this person a Moorish citizen?
The flood waters covered the entire earth, even the tallest mountains. Therefore, the currents had to be as great and as fast as any currents on earth today, if not greater and faster, especially on or near the equator where the water is heated up by the sun and it causes the waters to move in a circular motion. Noah most likely lived in or near ancient Florida or Atlantis, as both were connected on either side of the Hideko River.
Noah was a Florida man? Florida man builds big ass boat, more at 11. Lily Love Stuff says, looks like black Israelite to me. Oh, yeah.
Since the waters covered all the
Atlantis on the bingo card.
The earth's tallest mountains, the flood waters most likely peaked to at least 20,000 feet above sea level. Since that is just a bit less than the depth of the modern Atlantic Ocean, which
Logard says, as a demonstration, here's my 5-year-old's crayon drawing from Sunday school.
Moves at about 5.6 miles per hour, it is safe to conclude that the flood waters moved at about 5 miles per hour. If the ark was traveling at a constant velocity, which it did not, because the direction of the currents and the weight of the ark itself are too...
Why is Bart Simpson's bus driver telling me about the flood? I don't even think he sounds like the bus driver.
Major factors, it would have traveled exactly 29,200 miles total in a period of 8 months, due to the fact that Noah's Ark was found in the mountains of Ararat.
No, it wasn't. There's never been found anything that's Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark isn't real. It's a fictional story.
Of Turkey, it is completely illogical to believe...
Is this rock or is it petrified gopher wood? It's rock. That's a rock.
That the ark came from another area of the Middle East. It had to come from an area much, much farther away. If the flood waters moved at 5 miles per hour, and there are 730 hours in 1 month, then
this person has 11,000 followers.
There's already 3,000.
No, I don't think it's word salad yet. Noah was a Florida man.
Star checks out.
1,650 miles in 1 month. Now, 3,650 miles in 1 month times 8 months equals 29,200 miles total. Now, this number would be reduced by more than half only because of the weight of the ark itself, and still would be too high of a number to have came from the Middle East. But the convection caused by the sun heating the water, so Noah's Ark had to move in a loop if it ever went near the equator, because that's how convection currents work. The ark did not have a sail, therefore it wasn't at all affected by the wind. In the northern hemisphere, currents always travel north, then east, then make their way south. Except near the Arctic Circle, there the currents go north, then west, then south. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, the currents go south, then east, then north. But if Noah lived in the Middle East, which is the northern hemisphere, then the currents would have took Noah's Ark north, then east, then south. It wouldn't land in Ararat from there because Ararat is to the west. But if Noah's Ark came from North America or somewhere around Florida, all it would have to do is follow the current, and it could easily land in Turkey.
TubeMan with 25 months says, "Ah yes, the flood, my favorite do-over God ever did. Oh no, my angels are boning people and nobody believes in my time to wipe, and nobody believes it's my time to wipe the board."
Within 8 to 9 months. In Genesis 6 and 14, the Most High tells Noah to build an ark made out of gopher wood. While gopher wood is an unidentified type of wood, most scholars and scientists would agree that it is most likely a North American tree.
Citation needed!
But has an ancient Florida tree been identified as the biblical gopher wood? The name of this tree, scientifically, is Torreya taxifolia. This ancient tree is believed to have been all throughout the entire southeast. Now there are only a few hundred left, and only 10 are capable of reproduction. Torreya are now critically endangered. When we look at this article on Torreya taxifolia, and we look at the 4th and 5th paragraph, it says, the tree's popularity almost spelled its doom. It is estimated there were 600,000 Torreya trees living in the Apalachicola River Valley during the early 1800s. Only around 200 survive today. So they were cutting these trees down, using these trees a lot to make their stuff because these trees came in handy a lot. The 5th paragraph says,
what did they come in handy for, specifically?
Modern scientists report that the Torreya once lived across North America and is one of the oldest known tree species on Earth. This is interesting in light of the local legend that the Florida Torreya was the biblical gopher wood from which Noah built the ark. When we look up Torreya taxifolia on Wikipedia, it gives you other names that it's called by, commonly known as Florida nutmeg, Florida Torreya, gopher wood, stinking yew.
Wait, is the fact that this also has a name of gopher wood, which, by the way, things can have the same name and not be the same thing, sir. That's why he thinks this?
Or stinking cedar. Now notice how gopher wood was one of the names. Now, what was this tree used for? Why did these European invaders almost wipe these trees out? In the 19th century, the tree was harvested for wood that was used as fence posts, shingles, furniture, and as fuel for riverboats on the Apalachicola River. So we see that these trees were, cut down, and they were used for fences, doorposts, furniture, etc. So that'll tell you that this tree was, it had good wood, right? And of course, if the Most High wanted to send a flood, he would want to tell Noah to get some good wood, Let's not forget that this is scientifically one of
God
the
to
oldest
Noah,
trees
I need you to make me a boat. Make sure you use good wood for it.
on Earth. I'm just putting two and two together, A local legend says it's gopher wood. Google says it's gopher wood. Wikipedia says it's gopher wood.
Right, you can call something a thing, and it's not necessarily that thing. They named it after the biblical thing, probably. Or maybe specifically actually to do with gophers. I don't know. That doesn't mean it's the same thing.
Article says gopher wood. Scientifically, it's the oldest tree.
Scientifically, it's the oldest tree in the world? No!
It was wiped out of North America so hard. Perhaps they don't want people knowing about this tree, that it is gopher wood.
We can't let these people know about the tree.
I'm just putting two and two together on that.
And the answer you found was 7, and it's very wrong. Oh my god. Alright. What else we got? Forget what this one was. Oh, the IRS thing. Okay, I thought this was interesting. So, this is more of a long form thing, but I did want to watch it on stream because I thought it was really interesting. This is a documentary about some of the Harold Camping followers. Harold Camping, for those who don't know, we watched a video about him sometime in the last week. Was a, I don't know if I'd say televangelist. He was an evangelist, and he had a television show. So yeah, I guess a televangelist. And he predicted the end of the world sometime in, I think, 2011. So this documentary is following some of the people who believe him and believe that the world is going to end in however many days. Sharkbee said, good news. Oh, Keffels something good? Did they do it? Did she do it? Is it done? Did she do it? Did Keffels fucking do it? Did Keffels become a fucking legend? Oh, that's good. I had a couple mentions on there, so I'm glad it's gone. They'll probably find a different web host, but still, fuck them. At least they're down for now, and that's something. Alright, so with that good news, let's check out this documentary, shall we? This is long. This is probably what we're going to be doing for the rest of the stream, just so you know. Unless it turns out to be utter dog shit. But I don't think it will.
All she can say. And I'm like...
3 days to Judgment Day is what it says. Sky Comet says, one of the oldest trees is ginkgo. It dates back to about 290 million years ago. Maybe something older than that. That's cool.
Classic. That's all you can say.
And my kids were texting their friends, and every time it was
no. I tried to talk, I was talking to him, I was like, I don't ever remember that verse being taught so much
in service. How did that verse become so embedded? Right. Well, I remember growing up in church, and I said to myself, I don't know when Judgment Day is going to come, but I know that whenever it comes, I'll be ready. I'll be ready, and if anybody ever tells me that they know, I'll just know that one thing: nobody knows the time. And it took a lot of convincing before I finally said, you know what?
So what convinced you this time?
Well, the timeline. I mean, the facts just keep lining up. You know, the 7,000 years, day and date. Just too many coincidences too.
Yeah. So what do you think's going to happen? Where are you going to spend the last day?
Oh, my family. We're gonna occupy until the end.
Yeah.
And gonna wait on our Lord. We're gonna be praying.
That's great.
That's what we're gonna be doing.
What do you hope happens? What do you?
Crackle Set says, I wonder what these people are doing now 10 years after the world was supposed to end. I hope they've gotten some therapy and that they're doing better.
Well, I hope that God is merciful to my family and friends, and I hope that as many people as possible become saved.
And that's why you're going around trying
That's why I'm going around doing my tracks and trying to warn. And it's not an easy thing to do. I was listening to, I was reading one of the prophets. I'm trying to think of it. Was it Jacob? And it wasn't Jacob. It was Jeremiah. And he was telling the Israelites to surrender. You know, who's going to tell? It's like he was almost a traitor. And everybody else said, don't do it. And he was saying, you'll save your life if you go out and surrender. That must have been really hard to do. And it's sort of what we're saying. We're saying at the end of the world, we're telling people who have little kids and businesses and everything that it's all going to end. It just seems bizarre to them, probably. But you have to, if you believe the Bible.
May 21st, 2011 is the full date.
You have to tell it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And what's your name?
Peter Mason.
Peter. Do I have a permission to put you in the documentary on this?
Sure do.
You do documentaries? Well, I'm an artist, but I also do documentaries. Yeah.
You might want to give me your number. I got a great documentary to do on a Ben Franklin breach.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you want to do a documentary? You think the world's going to end soon.
That does sound interesting, yeah.
I happened to pick up a 1926 publication.
I got to get the rest of these.
By the guy that built it.
That's neat. That's interesting, yeah. I'm sorry, I've got to keep...
This is a great big snow job to make family radio money and nothing else. We give out tracts and family radio asks for donations.
So you're not a part of this group?
Let me explain myself, okay? I've attempted 2 suicides in the last 3 months. I'm in a lot of pain from 3 strokes and a terrible fall I took. And death will relieve my pain. So if I get called up to heaven on Saturday or May 21st, I'll be very happy to rapture and go to heaven.
Holy fuck. Oh, that's really, really sad.
What? When I see, I've been doing cons, and I grew up across the street from a racetrack. I grew up with a lot of con artists. The guy that's the head of family radio, they're handing out tracts. The tracts tell people, the advertisements tell people, listen to family radio, and then they ask for donations. This is about dinero, money, nothing else. And you can believe the earth will still be here May 22nd.
Something like this, I say, this is God's plan, because to get out as worldwide as this is getting out, it has to be from God. This is not us, like really trying to...
It's on a worldwide scale where, we have all these billboards across the entire country. I mean, it's...
The single largest single event ad campaign in history. So, in terms of advertising budget for a single thing, so comparable to, advertisements for a concert or an event or something like that. Something that happens one time. So that's excluding, films and TV shows and products. In terms of advertising a one-day event, single biggest ad buy in history. for this.
Spread out all over the entire, all the school kids are talking about.
People ruined their lives over this. They took their life savings and put it into like billboards and posters and everything to warn people.
My son was in school the other day, and he says kids were arguing on whether or not it was going to be Judgment Day or not, you know.
Another thing.
You turn the TV on, and, you know, what's her name, Ellen DeGeneres?
Oh, yes.
Somebody
Talked about it also?
Somebody called into her question and answer time and said, do you think May 21st is the end of the world, you know? It's actually...
What'd she say?
She said, I think she said that no, she didn't think it was because Oprah Winfrey has, her show doesn't run out until the 24th. She was just trying to be funny.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, it's just you can see it in the fabric of everyday life. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody.
It has to be God's plan.
You know, God has gotten the word out there. I don't think if we didn't
say hello to my little friend.
Any other?
Has that child seen Scarface? I think that kid's a little young to have seen Scarface. Two Man says, oh no, but don't you know, hand of the calendar is wrong and the real Doomsday is still near.
Time where someone said that the world was coming to an end, it was not on, like...
Who am I kidding? If I had a kid, I'd let him watch Scarface at that age. I'd be a terrible parent. My kid would be 5 and I'd be like, do you want to watch Predator? Can you say, get to the chopper? Chromatic Cuddlefish with 50 bits says, but on that day, the second coming, an hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my family only. Matthew 24:36, but you know, some rando radio preacher. Yeah, the Bible explicitly says no one knows the end times date. No one knows it.
You said at this worldwide scale, you know, this great. And another thing I was thinking, okay, we know the astronauts just went up in space.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's part of God's...
You grew up watching movies like Terminator 2, Elvira, and Rocky Horror Picture Show. So did I. We had satellite TV, and I was... They didn't keep that close an eye on what I was watching. So I watched all sorts of stuff as a kid. Which worked out. I love movies now. I own over 1,000 Blu-rays. I don't know what I'm up at, but like, you know. It turned into something I enjoy. It didn't fuck me up. Too much. Mr. Whiskers says, my birthday is in May, and I vaguely remember using this as an excuse to go ham that year. Lily Love Stuff with 45 bits says, I mean, my parents let me watch whatever I want, when I was a kid, and the only thing that gave me nightmares was Jurassic Park. Luca the Crow says, happy 10th birthday, time for Hannibal.
It's plan also, because they're not going to come down on the 21st. And that's the one of the astronauts, his wife is the senator, you know, one who got shot. So just think about it. He's going to be up there. I think that's the way we're going to get it to be streamed. Because once the destruction, they could see the Earth. The purpose that they went up
we
there.
Have all satellites in space.
Exactly.
The satellites in space
and
will be able to beam down.
He thinks that God let people invent satellites so they could see the world ending from space?
Right back down.
The images,
you know, and they're up there safe at this point, you know.
Yeah. Well, it says in the Bible that, you know, when you see the destruction take place afar off, look up because your redemption draweth nigh.
Right.
You know, we'll see that afar off. We'll see it coming.
Yeah.
And once we see that coming, we'll know that our redemption is near, you know. And it'll be unfortunate for anybody else, you know.
Yeah, camping recalculated for October. And then after, I think even before the second prediction date came, he was like, okay, I'm wrong, sorry.
On that day, they're not going to be able to ask God. There will be no more mercy. They won't be able to ask God for mercy.
How long have you been traveling with the caravan organizing things?
Well, I went to California to pick up the RVs back in January, and on and off I've been, you know, going on trips.
Is Hannah going to be streaming during the apocalypse? No. Why would I do that? I would not. Would you work during the apocalypse? That's what you just asked me. Do you want to do your job during the apocalypse? Why? I don't need that money. The world will be over. I'm not going to spend my last minutes, you know. I'm not going to spend my last minutes watching conspiracy theorists. I'm going to spend them with Baja and cheese and our kitties and I'm gonna eat the cheese and cuddle Baja and the kitties, and then the asteroid or whatever will hit the Earth.
But I've been organizing and managing the caravan since then.
That's a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And where did the caravans come from? Whose ideas was
we picked them up at
Oh fuck, I did mention cheese on the bingo card.
Family Radio back in around, I think it was January 5th. We left, we flew out of here.
Hydrate.
During the bad winter snowstorm. And I think we were the only flight out of Baltimore that made it.
Maps and Mimic says, completely off topic, and I know nothing about Casually Explained, but this is only a minute and hilarious.
Streaming is all about entertainment, and you can watch and support whoever you want. But at least be honest with yourself about it. I've seen people be like, oh, yeah, she does like yoga at the beach, and I've donated because she obviously can't afford a proper outfit, and I've been trying to learn yoga myself, you know. Yeah, okay, buddy, and I'm a tier 3 sub to Hassan for his political views.
I'm sorry, what? Son of a bitch?
Luke the Crow says, make sure you don't eat the cats and Baja and cuddle the cheese. I'll do my best.
Oh my god, he's literally tier 2-3 sub. Shut the fuck up, dude. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, dude, he probably did this just for the fucking meme. No shot. Never typed in chat, tier 3 sub. The perfect chatter. The perfect relationship with a streamer and chatter.
Thanks for unpausing the video, Hassan. Now, one thing Twitch is certainly known for.
Are you fucking kidding me? Ah! Oh no! I gotta end the broadcast after that, dude.
Everybody else was closed down, but the Lord even opened that up for us. We flew into San Francisco. It was nice there, you know, palm trees, warm and everything. We stayed at Family Radio for a day, toured Family Radio, got to meet Mr. Camping, and then we took the RVs. They had full-time mechanics that were working on getting them ready, and then we started on our trip home after about 1 or 2 days of being there. And yeah, it was quite a trip taking these across the country, 3,200 miles.
Wow. You've been all over the place.
Yeah, we've been all over the place.
Wow.
So thousands of miles.
Now, what's your regular job?
Were aliens mentioned earlier? Let me look. I don't think so. I don't remember where anything is on the card. No, I don't think so. Atlantis was.
What's your regular profession?
I work at Boeing helicopter company.
What do you do there? What's your
engineering? Design avionics labs for the helicopters, you know, the tandem rotor helicopters you can see fly over.
Now, did you resign your job for this?
No, I just do this part-time.
Oh, okay.
Or actually another full-time job.
Yeah.
I think I go home and then I spend more time after work doing the caravan itineraries and taking phone calls and answering emails and
that's a huge job.
Yeah. I don't have to get as much sleep lately these past 5 months.
Wow. Yeah, I know.
Where are you going to spend Saturday?
Well, I guess I'll just be home, you know.
Is your home near here then?
It's in Landenberg, PA.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, not too far from there.
So a whole group of you aren't going to get together or anything, huh?
I guess not. Not really. We're just going to... Actually, if everything goes as planned with the rolling judgment, there's 2 theories. One's like a rolling judgment, and, you know, that's if the judgment takes place, you know, starts at the timeline on the 21st at 6 o'clock in the evening and rolls across the earth. And as every time zone enters 6 p.m., judgment will occur in that particular area.
Right. It's nice that God conformed to the human concept of time zones.
Or it could be, the other theory is it could start at 12 p.m. Jerusalem time, and I guess that's about 7 o'clock our time. So, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. But I think, you know, it looks like the scenario that will probably happen is the rolling judgment.
You can go ahead.
No, they don't. My family doesn't believe it's going to happen. They don't believe. My parents don't believe it's going to happen. And I've been praying for them, hoping they'll. It's still a few days left. We have. Let's see, today's Wednesday, right? We have Thursday and Friday, so we have 2 more days of salvation, and that's the end of God's salvation program.
I think in most of us, if you haven't interviewed many people yet, we have a great joy that the Lord's coming back, but we also have this deep sadness and woe inside us. For a lot of people don't understand and aren't opening their hearts and minds to God. God does this all, but they're being unreceptive to this message. I believe that the good Lord is coming this Saturday with all my heart and all my soul. And it's sad because none of my family members believe. I feel, and my relatives and cousins as well. So it causes great sorrow, and I've shed lots of tears because of this. But I am hopeful and praying that God will open that.
Where are these people now? I'm wondering. I assume are they going to interview them at the end after it doesn't happen? I'm wondering.
Friends in my relative's eyes before it's late, because he's a very loving and compassionate Lord, and he has no pleasure in bringing his wrath on this earth.
That's such a cop-out from religious people in general, but I see this a lot from evangelical Christians in particular. When they're talking about God, and they're like, oh, God doesn't want to hurt anyone. Like, he just has to. Like, no! If God is God, then God gets to make the rules, and if God determines that the rules are done in such a way that he gets to torture people for eternity, even, like, honestly, anyone for eternity, like, that's just ridiculous. That's psychotic. There's no amount of love in that. That doesn't mean anything. You can't just say things that are directly contradictory and act like everyone else is weird for not believing you. Killjoy with 100 bits says, I worked at a dollar store at the time. My boss at the time was an atheist as well. We both acknowledged that Dollar Tree didn't stop for the apocalypse. Again, in 2012, I spent 2 apocalypses selling discount plastic crap.
Now,
do your relatives, do they not believe you?
They don't believe me, and some have said I'm in a cult, and I've been led astray, and Harry, come to my church, and it's sad. It's very sad that they don't understand this.
Cult says they're not a cult on the bingo card. Homoerotic race car with 45 bits says, your suffering is not God preparing you. You're just suffering. Please see a therapist. First name bunch of numbers with 50 bits says, reminds me a lot of Q people who describe losing friends and family because they won't buy the bullshit and have to cut the increasingly unhinged conspiracy theorist out of their life. Time is a flat circle.
I was talking to my brother the other day.
Mike, thanks for 16 months, says, is this the Kevin Smith movie that connects Clerks and Dogma?
Unfortunately, he doesn't believe. But, he made some reference that, you're not going to, make a batch of Kool-Aid or...
Does this count as numerology as evidence? No, because it hasn't been brought up yet. Harold Camping did use numerology, but it's not come up in this documentary yet. If they go into how he did that, then yes.
And I have a very sincere desire not to break any God's commandments. I'm not going to hurt myself. I can't kill myself because it's a sin.
Okay, what's your question? Give me your name again.
Name's Joe.
Do we have permission to put you in our documentary or my documentary? Sure thing. Whatever. Sure thing. Now, Joe, what do you do? What do you do for a living? What's your regular job?
I am a pilot with U.S. Air Express based out of Maryland.
Imagine you're in a plane and it turns out the pilot is this guy. He's flying you through the air in an airplane, and this is his judgment.
who God came for.
How long have you done that as a pilot?
22 years, in fact.
Well, for the longest time, I'll admit, I was in and out of the Word, and
thanks for the link.
There was a lot. I had some besetting sins. I'll be honest, and they weren't going away, and I would lose hope at times and give up. And then one day I was listening to Family Radio, and he was saying about how people say, well, you know, since God has us chosen before the foundation of the world, that, you know, since he already had chosen, I'm going to go on living my life, and if God's going to save me, he'll do it in his own time anyway, so I'm going to go on living my lifestyle. And then you have the other ones where they cried out for the longest time, and they, you know, they're still having these problems with their sins or besetting sins, and they just give up and walk away. And all it is just foolish pride. And I was listening to that one day, and I felt like it was speaking to me. Like, that's me.
Because I watch it after I listen to it. I like to listen to them on radio because then I can, you know, I'll take notes or whatever, or write scripture down if someone asks a question or something, and then I go back and I watch it on TV, you know, and I'll watch it and I'll see what how he actually reacts to everything. He started out really calm and he was laughing, you know, I think he's really enjoying the idea that, you know, God is coming back, you know.
Have you met Harold?
No, I would be in awe, probably.
But they're concerned that they're thinking this isn't going to happen, and you know what's going to happen to me emotionally and that kind of thing. But I turn it around to them and say, well, you need to think about yourself. What's going to happen to you if this does happen?
Oh yeah, I know.
So that's what I try to tell them.
What would be your reaction if nothing happened?
I don't even think about that because I'm convinced from the Bible, from the proofs in the Bible, this is going to happen.
I've never heard an intellectually honest person say, I don't even think about that, like about a topic that they should be skeptical about.
And so, for me, that would be denying that the Bible is the truth to even answer that question. And that's what I tell them.
I didn't tell my wife for a long time, and because when I say a long time, I mean like 3 or 4 months. I had heard Family Radio when I was at work on the radio, and it sparked something in me immediately. It wasn't like, you know, it sparked something in me. It was like, I was shocked, because I had heard about, way back when I was in service, you know, I had accepted Christ, and I had been baptized in the Red Sea.
All the stuff that traditional churches talk about.
And I heard about the rapture. You know, that's when I was in service, it told me about, you know, millions missing. It just said, the track said millions missing, and I'm thinking, I want to be one of those, you know. And that started my whole Christian walk. And then I hear Harold Camping, you know, 20 some odd years later, talk about May 21st is the end, Judgment Day.
Well, I began listening to Family Radio 30 years ago.
Is Family Radio related to Family Life Radio at all, or are they completely separate? Because my mom used to listen to Family Life Radio growing up.
So, I got involved with this last year when I heard that they're going to have the caravans in operation. I decided to get involved then.
And have you traveled along with them?
Yeah, I've been to, this is my 3rd trip. I've been to Virginia.
Need for salvation. Pretty good.
I've been to Virginia.
Let me see. I don't think I'm going to need the timeline.
Chromatic Color says, God, the rapture isn't even in the sodding Bible. It's a weird bit of 19th century U.S. Eschatology. Logarth with a link to the Family Radio. FamilyRadio.com. See the ones that are in Michigan. Yeah, no. Must be unaffiliated. Similar Christian thing, but it was Family Life Radio, not Family Radio, so they must be unaffiliated.
You guys, I'm going to leave this with you. I do want it back, please.
You want to take my number?
Yes, hold on.
Because Family Life Radio, I think, is funded by Focus on the Family, which is the anti... Well, they do more stuff than that, but they're... When I was growing up, a lot of it was anti-LGBT stuff.
Take care. We'll see you in
But they do a lot of other stuff.
a couple minutes. What's Joe's last name? Say a couple minutes because
Focus on the Family, I think, put out Adventures in Odyssey and some other stuff.
A few hours. My number.
Yeah, Focus on the Family is in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I remember that because of Adventures in Odyssey. Oh my god, that squeaky noise is killing me. The fuck is in this car that is so goddamn squeaky?
And I went to Rio. I was in Rio for 10 days with a missionary group that went down there.
It's very sad. My daughter and my son. My wife doesn't believe it. My wife's estranged from me right now. That's another story that I really don't know.
Wonder how many of these people got into QAnon. Because a decade later, you know, a little less, 6 years later, QAnon showed up. And there are already people who are clearly very into being led by mysterious figures making vague predictions. So, I gotta imagine a decent number fell into the Q thing, right?
I want to share with your thing here, even though I know it won't be in circulation.
I mean, you must be a really tough person to be going out here and talking to people cold like this.
It's not me, and my personality isn't really like that. Normally I'm very quiet, but the Lord's laid it on my heart, and it's all from Him, because we believe this. It's obviously the most important thing right now, and to get this message out, and we're commanded to do that. The Lord commands us in the Bible.
But my daughter's trying to work me into the corner. She, Dad, why can't you admit that this might not happen? I said, Nicole, I told my brother the other day, I said, Tommy, think about this. I said, have you ever, you might say, yeah, I can imagine you doing crazy things. I was kind of wild, when I was younger, but now that I'm almost 55, I'll be 55 in August, I'll never make it. But, I said, why would it possess me to go out and to wear shirts and put things on my car and to pass out tracts and jeopardize my job even? I sent out an email, and then, my general manager came in and he actually, led into me and said, Harry, I told you about it. I said to him, his name is Jack. I said, Jack, I got to send this out because this is my last day of work and I believe this. And I got to, let everybody know that it's not too late to have salvation. We can go boldly to God.
I grew up Roman Catholic. I met 27 years. A very staunch Roman Catholic family. My mom still goes to church every morning.
That's got to be a dog, right?
She tells me I threw away the most precious gift in the world. The Roman Catholic faith.
Twice when the last time God said
you want to catch this?
I can tell that's an idea. That's just I said the church is apostate.
Oh, it's a cop.
I said, would you church?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Police department.
Yes, sir.
You guys have a permit for loudspeakers in the city?
We need one for that?
Yes, you do.
No, we don't. But we can tell them to turn it down.
Go step out the vehicle real quick. We'll have a conversation about this.
Oh God.
Sure.
You guys got no video. I'm not going to sit there and argue. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, I'll have a supervisor speak with you.
Yeah, I
put the issue on. I
do agree. Okay, if you guys have a permit that's necessary, no problem.
Okay. Just stand by for a second. Sure. I'll supervise you in a couple minutes and make discuss.
Ralph, you read? They had a tiny shirt. One didn't have a shirt on at all. Because I think they were like saying you couldn't, and then the other one had like a shirt underneath a vest. So anyway, I come in there with my sweatshirt, and I'm like, I guess I'm the sign. He says, we can't show any signs or anything. So I'm just sitting there with my sweatshirt really large. And the interesting thing is, listen to this, is the kicker. She had to sign up and get the permits.
Yes, the passengers back here are ambassadors. What's the game plan? Are we going back towards the downtown area and drop them off?
There's the goddamn squeak!
Roger that. Heading back to the downtown area.
I mean, every time we're riding around, we're...
So what happened with the police there?
They had a couple citations lined up for us already. That the Wawa contacted them and told them that we're trying to collect money at the Wawa.
We're not collecting any money.
That's what they told the police, and then the policemen said we're obstructing traffic. So yeah, it's a couple things lined up for us. And then the horn was...
I apologize. I really want to watch this whole thing, but I gotta skip to a section that doesn't have that squeak because it is getting to me in the worst way.
Mind off of that. That's all you think about.
Don't be blind. Don't be powerful.
Saving souls at the Mickey D's.
There's that red light up there, yeah. Thank you.
Actually, God, has opened my eyes, and then, I spoke to him, and then he searched it out for himself on the internet. Then he read the books, read the Bible.
Great.
Then finally, God, has opened his eyes, and then he says, "Mom, this is so true." So we were in the church, and then God took us out.
That's great.
Yeah, we left the church last year, and then since then, the Lord's work we're doing right now.
So for a whole year?
Yes. And then we're hoping and waiting for the salvation of the Lord, because it's coming inside of me.
Now where do you live now?
I live in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Now what are you going to do for the last day? Are you going to spend it with your family, or are you going to be out on the street?
Yeah, I've been with my family because I got 6 children. They're all with me, so I thank God for that. And then, I'm spending my last 3 days to do this to warn the people, because it's coming, it's going to happen. Hi, my name is
Marie?
Yes.
God bless you, Marie. We can work the traffic, but be careful.
I know, we gotta be careful. Yeah.
And they can't replace you today. You gotta be careful.
They can? If you're obstructing traffic, yeah.
Pickled Alien says, when this was happening, a woman with a serious eye disease tries proselytizing on the train to me. I've never been angrier. She was brainwashed to think she didn't need health care. Ooh. Hope she ended up getting help at some point. They're gonna get in trouble for walking in traffic.
I would go down to City Hall and find out what you can and can't do. Yeah. Okay? And that'll be far better. Yeah. And they may give you a permit.
We're sort of stranded here now. Most of our.
Is that your ride there?
No, ours were already left already.
Okay. Are they with you guys? Is it the same thing?
Well, they're part of it, but I don't know where they're going. They're going that way. We were just dropped off here to stand at this intersection.
I see.
And
yeah, you just can't handle stuff, especially in the traffic here.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to, only when the traffic stops.
Doesn't matter. Citosaurus has had a dermatology appointment today to look at a weird mole on my back. Turns out it's not cancer, just some kind of strange scar tissue that looks like a mole. Oh, that's good. Electric Coyote, thanks for 7 months, says almost there.
I ask if anybody wants it.
Yeah.
And if they don't want it, I just move on.
Still can't. Yeah. Who's running the show here? They can go down to the city.
God is.
No one. No man knows. Yeah.
I accidentally skipped ahead. Sorry.
Completely. We don't want to cause traffic accidents or anything.
I understand. That's why I say the best thing you do is just go down to City Hall and do what you need to do. Find out your limitations, what you can and can't do. If you got to get a permit or whatever you got to do.
You don't know if we need a permit.
So, I know you can't stay out here and hand stuff out to the cars. Okay.
On the traffic.
But you fill whatever you got to fill out down there.
And sidewalks were okay.
Sidewalks you can talk.
You can't go into the traffic.
Yeah, you can't go into the traffic.
Why does this adult man have to have it explained to him that you can't walk in traffic in the United States? The United States cares about jaywalking a lot. Our cities are entirely based around cars. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, silly people, everyone knows Judgment Day was August 29th, 1997, until it was July 25th, 2003. But then, July 25th, 2004, except it was April 21st, 2011 in the TV series, then they kind of gave up.
You can't stand stuff out from the side, okay? Okay. Thank you very much. Have a safe day. You guys too. Take care. Yeah, have a good rain. Take care.
So what's the plan now? Tell me for the camera here.
Well, we're going to go hit residential area now. We're going to either fold, place it by the door, if there's some easy way for us to leave it by the front there. We didn't leave anything here because it says no soliciting on this door here.
Oh, okay.
But the other one, we left something between the door jamb and the outer screen door.
Okay,
storm door.
I need one of those signs that says no soliciting unless it's like Girl Scout cookies. Do people sell Girl Scout cookies door to door still? They normally set up in front of like a Walmart. I want Girl Scout cookies.
I thought I'd film you guys.
Oh.
Now what's your name?
Kyrisha.
Kyrisha. Do I have permission to put you in our documentary?
Yeah.
You have permission of your parents here? All right, very good. All right, so go ahead. She was interested in
Okay, did you have a question, honey? Just want to know what's it about. Well, this is being taught in the Bible, and we don't have any pleasure, bringing...
No, the Bible does not say the rapture. First of all, the Bible doesn't say the rapture is going to happen, ever. Not a thing. Second of all, it certainly doesn't say the rapture is going to happen on a specific date.
This news to people, except that it's also the day of the catching up. If you know anything about the Bible, that Christ will come back someday, and he'll catch up the believers to be with him in heaven. And those that are left here on the earth are going to suffer terribly because there's going to be an earthquake.
Yeah, I've heard
on this
church.
day. You heard it. And unfortunately, the churches, they think that we can't know anything about it, but there's a whole lot we can know.
Lily Love Stuff says, back in my day, you did both. We did door-to-door booth sales at local stores. I haven't had door-to-door sales in years where I live, but I ordered mine online the last couple of years. I think there's also a company that just makes basically taste-alike Girl Scout cookies.
So I would just encourage you to check it out for yourself and pray to God for his mercy.
I'm gonna be honest, for some reason her shirt looks like it says fart quake to me, and that's pretty funny. Jesus is gonna destroy us with a fart quake.
So what do you think about? What do you think about? You said you heard her not in church.
Well, I think it's a good inspiration for all of us to start thinking about what's going to happen next when he comes down.
Oh, this poor fucking kid.
To get people, we should start talking to others, praying to God that everything will get better. So that's my point of view from it.
Well, but the Bible teaches that things on this earth are not going to get better. But he is going to create a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
That doesn't mean anything, Grandma. What the fuck is righteousness? He's just gonna kill all the gay people? Like, what the fuck do you think it means? If you're going, I don't want to go. Lily Love Stuff says, I want to support Girl Scouts. They're cool and talk about birth control and sex ed now so they can have my money. Aren't the Boy Scouts, which are unaffiliated with the Girl Scouts, by the way, aren't the Boy Scouts owned by the Mormons now? Like, didn't the Mormon church buy the organization that runs the Boy Scouts?
In 2 Peter chapter 3, you take your Bible and read that. I didn't even bring...
Now, what do you think about, have you heard of the May 21st date before?
Well, not yet, but our pastor's been going over things about, like, we should start praying actually really more. Like, before you wake up, think you ask that God will pray for you and say thank you Jesus every morning you wake up, because it's the
not anymore. They separated after the Boy Scouts allowed gay people.
Strength of him that's been giving us the power to wake up every morning. I go to school every day and I thank him every day. So I mean, I would love for him to take me with him, because the devil has been harsh on me for like the past few months.
Really?
So
In what way?
Like my grades have been going down a little bit, and like a lot of my friends don't not liking me no more, and like it hurts because
none of that has to do with Satan. Even biblically, that's not what Satan does.
I don't know what to do at times, so I think I think of Jesus and I pray to him that things will get better.
To help you, yeah.
Yes. Well, this world is full of sin, honey. It's full of sin, and it's full of sorrow and tears, and it's a beautiful world. Look at that rose.
This documentary is just sad people hoping the world will end. I think that's also what my chat is sometimes.
Bush over there. Did your daddy plant that, maybe?
Oh, my uncle, he was just up there.
It's beautiful. You know, he gives us a nice world to live in, but it's also a world of sin and sorrow, and God is going to destroy this present earth. If you read 2 Peter chapter 3, turn to your Bible and read that chapter very carefully.
And you think it's going to happen in a couple days?
And yes, and the earthquake will happen, and then
Reminder that if this lady is still alive, she almost certainly calls trans people groomers for existing.
there's a 5-month period of just horror before God burns up this present earth, and then he will create a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, as it says in 2 Peter chapter 3.
Yeah, I just can't wait, because I know there's a lot of people in the hospital going through a lot of pain right now.
Right.
And
there no more death. There won't be any more death either.
People will be happy, be with their family, and live a happy life without any problems or stress, like from people having heart attacks, going through cancer, and things like that. Because just today I saw a woman having cancer and a brain tumor, and it's been a harsh day for her.
Yeah, and there won't be anything like that, you know, in the new heaven and the new earth.
Well, I'm gonna walk this way.
You walk that way. We'll put them with you.
All right. Be careful, ladies. Sisters. You just can't do it once it starts, though.
No offense, but
That's all right. That's all right. You know what? I don't make anybody believe. God makes you believe.
it's not that I don't believe. It's just I don't think it's happening.
All right. So then other people showed up, and there was more people showed up, and then the caravan came with all the late, you know. And I said, this is absolutely amazing. I said, I wish I had 40-foot arms that I could wrap around everyone and give them a big bear hug. Because I'm like, I finally found people that believe what I believe. You know, and I had to admit that I was like, you know how we feel. Well, I think I'm sane. I got a level head. And I started, to look around, and I said, does any of these people seem abnormal to you, Harry? I mean, do they seem a little bit crazy? And I couldn't discern any craziness in any of them. If I'd known this for more than 3 or 4 years, I don't know how I would deal with this. I might overload and my head would explode in a figurative way, like, I wouldn't be able to deal with it. I'd go Looney Tune or whatever. Not that, but the Lord's kept my head on level, and I haven't, I haven't shown any signs of neurotic behavior or anything like that. But I've given some money, yes, I have. I'm not going to need it anyway. I haven't sold my house off. I can't do that. I had to keep a roof over my son's head. Hold the door again. Not Jesus or God, the angels, only the Father. And I said, it's a test. Who is Christ and God? Are they the same people? You just take.
Because the Bible says,
no man knows the day of time. That's right. But it also says in the Bible, it says, a wise man discerneth both time and judgment. When Noah built the ark.
Well, that's why I'm asking you, who put that on your heart?
The Lord did.
You sure?
Ah, without a doubt, my friend. Without a doubt. The Lord.
Sure that
I believe.
Religious people both thinking that God or the Holy Spirit communicated something to them, but they're opposing things is so fucking funny to me. Because it makes them, like, have to... Even if they're not really consciously aware, it makes them, like, have to confront the fact that, like, oh, these are literally just my feelings. It's not a magical ghost. It's just my feelings that are making me feel this way. As it turns out, God told me, bro, isn't actually a good justification for your belief.
I believe this with all my heart and my soul.
Do you have a checking account?
Oh, you're not going to give me this now, are you?
Do you have a checking account?
Here's what I'll tell you. You come up to where I live. I live near Quakertown, actually between Allentown and Quakertown. If you could drive up on there on Sunday, you can have all my belongings. That's how much I believe it.
Okay.
I haven't stopped paying my bills. I still live in a house.
Just do this for me. Just give me a check and just put your signature and everything on it.
Here, I want you to take this and read this, my friend. All right, it's all in the Bible. There's nothing that...
Sunday, as long as you are...
I would have 100% accepted that and gone to that guy's house and taken his TV and shit. That would be amazing.
God's property. It don't matter when it comes. If it comes right now, if you ain't ready
You're ready,
to go...
aren't you?
Yeah. So you believe in the rapture too yourself?
Oh yeah.
It's just not that...
I'm living so I can live again.
You know, when I first started reading the Bible very earnestly years ago, I used to tell my pastor in church, I said, I don't like the Old Testament. There's too much killing. Too much killing. They'd march around and kill everything. Children, animals. The whole town would be wiped out by the Israelites. I said, I like the New Testament better. Christ came with love and compassion. But I think he walks us through these things so that we can understand, one, our own humanity, our own relationship with him, and how evil the world can be, and also how loving the world can be.
That's a good question, though. Like Joshua, when he is ordered to kill all the men, women, and children.
And in Jericho.
Well, many of the towns.
I know, he killed everybody.
I know. What do you think was Joshua doing the right thing to follow God's order?
Well, that's the thing. Well, when the Lord... We don't know the kind of relationship that they had with God, because God is not like in our presence like he was in theirs. They had the Ark of the Covenant. I mean, the fact that...
None of that explains whether or not it's okay to kill children, sir. That was the question. The question is it okay to kill children? Homoerotic Race Car says, my best friend used to think God was speaking to him. Turns out he's schizophrenic, and he's doing a lot better now. I'm glad.
These other civilizations, the Canaanites and the Amorites and all these people, they would come in and they would absolutely destroy people and kill them and take their women off or kill their children and all their crowd. I mean,
But isn't that exactly what the Israelites did?
Well, yes. A good example is when I'm at a loss of words here. Wait a minute, ladies. Who was asked to kill his son? Was it Jacob? Or
that was Abraham.
Abraham. Thank you.
Jacob. Isaac was the son.
Isaac.
Elminato says, of course it's okay to kill kids. The second Ten Commandments said so. Oh, in Leviticus, when it says to kill your kid if they're disrespectful? Yeah, I've seen that.
I mean, God just wanted to test his faith, and his faith was so strong.
You think Abraham did the right thing?
Yeah, well, he followed the Lord's command.
Now, that's another question. Would you
do that
if God asked you to test your faith?
Oh, that is a tough question. Let me tell you this. I have a sincere desire to follow the Lord's commandments without question. I feel bad when I don't talk to people. I don't treat people right. I feel bad. I'm calm. You know, I try to be as nice and understanding of people as I can. I'm not forceful. You know, if someone's mean to me, I let them get mean on me.
This isn't about being
I know. It's about.
It sounds like you're a good person, and you don't want to.
I don't want to
say that you would kill your son or kill women or children.
It's a very good question, my friend. It's a hard question, yeah.
Discordant Vul says the Abrahamic religions, ruining it for all other religions since forever. Fuck Paul of Tarsus.
And it's not.
In this day and age, it would be very difficult to follow through. But let's put it this way: I would probably move forward, but I'd be hoping that God would stop me.
So he's saying, yes, he would murder his kids if God told him to. Great.
You know. Yes. So what are you doing now? You're home from work. Did you make dinner? All the people. I don't believe it.
Okay.
There's obviously other people who believe in gods that aren't really God. They're myths.
Yes.
They believe that they're killing in the name of their God. I mean, the people who flew the planes into.
Yeah. I know. They thought they were martyrs. They thought they were martyrs.
They thought that God wanted them to do
that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you would say that they were mistaken, I would assume.
Well, yes, I would.
The lack of self-awareness is interesting.
It's Saturday. God's coming on Saturday.
I can't wait to meet him.
And what happens on that date of Judgment Day, May the 21st, 2011, is the debts are due.
2 days.
Happen.
When God comes, the people who are saved, they're gonna go to heaven. The people who aren't raptured, they're gonna stay here and suffer the 5 months of judgment. Well, when we were listening to the open forum, he was saying that it's gonna happen like at 6 p.m. on Saturday, or a half an hour later, or a half an hour earlier, or a couple minutes, or something like that. And then what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a huge earthquake that's gonna top all the earthquake. It's gonna top Japan's and everything, and as the minute that the earthquake hits, the people are going to get raptured, and then the graves are going to come up and they're going to be open, but it's not like they're going to be zombies or anything.
Now, how sure are you? Are you 100% sure?
Oh, I'm 100% sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So no doubts at all.
No doubts at all. It's coming. It's gonna happen.
My name is James Palco.
And what about you guys? What's your names?
My name is Rita Palka. My name is Ashley Palka.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
Do I have permission to film all you guys for the documentary?
Sure.
Great.
We're non-denominational Christians.
Wow, that's some hardcore most non-denominational Christians I've met are at least kinda chill. Jesus fucking Christ. How are you this hardcore in your non-denominational?
And we believe this is going to happen. I have to say, I have to say that, I'm not 100% sure that I'm saved. I'm not gonna come out.
This documentary is called 3 Days to Judgment.
Make that statement that I'm saved. I know I have hope of salvation.
So are you guys looking forward to Saturday, or?
I'm not so happy about it. I'm pretty scared about it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing because people are going to be saved, but yet the people that didn't believe it are going to be here, and it's just going to be death everywhere.
Yeah, so you're sad because of friends and stuff who might not be.
Yeah, like especially family, because my family's like in the church ages, and they're all in church, and if you try to say anything to them, they don't believe it.
So you're worried about what might happen to them, huh?
Yeah. What you were saying about they deny it. Yeah, they always deny it when we try to tell them. So all we can do is pretty much pray for them.
Right. That's good. Yeah. Now, how sure are you about God and Jesus and everything?
Well, I'm 100%. Yeah, 100% sure that he's gonna come on Saturday.
You know, when you
Discordant Vul with 100 bits says, "Top me, Earthquake Mommy, ooh woo."
see, you know, the believers out there, it gives you a sense of, whew, I'm not the only one. But I believe it 100%. I believe it 100%. I'm not without a doubt. If it was something strange, it would blow in the wind so fast, and it wouldn't have, you know, carried on this far. But this is the truth, and God keeps His promises. And there's judgments throughout the entire Bible, and God does warn His, you know, believers before He would bring judgment, and that's what's going on now.
Do you have any doubts?
I have no doubts because actually last Wednesday was my last day on my job. You see, as I was saying, the truck here, we put the sign on it, so we are 100% sure it's going to happen. So there's no doubt in our mind that it's going to happen.
You know, what do you think would be your reaction if nothing happened?
Oh, well, I never really think of that. I never really give that a thought because, you know, I'm so sure it's going to happen. I never really think that it's not going to happen. Right.
And they said, well, I'm going to see you on Monday. It's like, well, you can come on Monday. This building's not going to be here.
Why would the building not be there? Is the building a Christian? Is it gonna get raptured?
It's like, there's no win for them.
Right. So. Right. And so no question in your mind that they might be right.
Yeah, the truth is, I can't see past that day. And my imagination could imagine what that day would look like, but I can't see past that day. No plans beyond or anything. And there's times you can't really see the city. I'm in the copy room with another teacher. It's like, see all these buildings? Like, that's not going to be standing there. All that's going to be flattened. And you're going to see smoke and all kinds of stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm just wondering, since I'm being on video.
Are you being videoed?
Am I being videoed?
Oh, I was videoing you. I thought I was in your way of somebody. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're videoing me. I'm just wondering who you are. I'm Sarah.
Oh, yeah, let me.
I gotta know what that's... so, were you...
Citisaurus says, off topic, Moorish citizens generally put they after their name, right? Or was I imagining that? If so, I used to be acquaintances with one. Just recently saw him on Facebook again and saw his full name. Correct. Yes, so it's possible. I think people who belong to the Moorish Science Temple, which is a separate thing, also do that, though, so he might not be a Moorish citizen. He might be affiliated with the Moorish Science Temple. Discordant Vul says, it turns into a person during a full moon. It's a warehouse, you see. And... warehouse. Lolgarth says, my big question is, where is the scam? Who's making all the money off this? Who did they tithe to? Harold Camping. His name was Harold Camping. He did radio shows.
So we start with 11,013 BC. And right in the first page, you see this little craze here, so you can actually create a scroll out of it. The Bible is its own dictionary. The evening and the morning is the... Then we got day 5 and day 6. You will find that Adam and Eve were both created on this...
Logarth says, oh, is this still camping? Damn. Citisaurus says, every time you say Harold, I think penisman. And yes, this will count as numerology.
It works.
Because they're finally explaining how Harold Camping came up with his number, which is very convoluted and stupid.
So Lamech, then he had a son named Noah. It shows you Noah's timeline with the going through the... So we get to Abraham, had Ishmael, Isaac's timeline's up here. What's going on? People think, oh, there's an error. No. 60 and Joseph was 39. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got the Passover feast. So 1447 is when Moses...
Argonium bum with a bingo holographic fake sun. Forced sterilization, population control as motive. Did we have that? I guess we did, the Daniel Pratt thing. Idiot thinks they're a genius. Numerology, you're living in fear. Yeah, you win. Argonian bum, you win. You already have a sub, so I'll write your name down. Let me open up the thing. Killjoy102 says, still less confusing than the Zelda timeline. Argonian Bum wins. Let's see. Saved. Luca the Crow says choo choo. It's gotta be 100 bits to kick off a hype train. Twitch's rules, not mine. I don't set the bit minimum for that.
From periods of oppression and more judges. You get the soul, David. First you get the first 3, and this opens the whole can of worms. So let me just whip through this if you don't mind. Do you want? Yeah. Okay. Because you probably want to get to the more fun stuff. Peter.
Rublum, thanks for gifting a tier 1 sub and kicking off a hype train.
3 talks about the destruction of flood, then the destruction of fire, and it says, do not be ignorant of this one thing. A day with the Lord, a day is 1,000 years, 1,000 years is one day with the Lord. It's like, what's it really telling you? Well, it's talking about the 2 different destructions, right? So how does that relate? So, one day.
Luca with 100 bits says, Hannah, you temptress, delete my bank account. 65% to level 1.
So, remember.
What is this? This is him explaining how Harold Camping got the date for the end of the world. Which turned out to not be the end of the world. It was in 2011.
Back at the flood, it said you got 7 days to get to the Ark. Well, if you turn that to 1,000 years, you got 7,000 years to get into the Ark of Christ. There you are. 4990 BC to 2011, you get to exactly 7,000 years. So that concludes.
How long did it take you to put this together? This is an amazing amount of research.
I took 3 years on it.
Oh, this isn't even Harold Camping's. That's just this guy's personal research.
3 years. Because I wanted, like I said, I wanted to prove him wrong. But the farther I went on it, it kept locking in. Couldn't break it.
Heavily, Ivory, and Hyacinth.
Do your own research on the bingo card. Let's say my research said not by a researcher on the bingo card. 65% to level 1 with 3 minutes left on the hype.
Say your ages, let's go. 8. And I'm 11.
And I'm 9.
And 9.
So can you all tell me what's going on today?
Now, what's your jobs?
Citosaurus with 100 bits says, the whole camping thing makes me so sad. All of these people getting pulled in and convinced by this insanity some fucking how. I can't imagine what must be wrong in your brain in order to buy into a fraud like this. I try to empathize in a situation, but all I can muster is what the fuck, why? I feel like that a lot lately, especially considering what I do on this show. I basically cover people who have been fooled or are trying to fool other people into things, whether it's conspiracies relating to, you know, the moon landing or politics, or whether we're talking about, you know, transphobia or crypto, whatever. I don't know how people fall for things like that. I wish I knew. Maybe that's the answer I'm looking for. I have a feeling I'm not going to find it. Stone Corbell says, unless you're skilled with harmonica, it just comes across really annoying and loud. How dare you? Don't make me find my kazoo. I was going to say the kazoo is the harmonica of the mouth, but that would be harmonicas. Alpaca Scent says, proof that buildings get raptured. Oh god, what's this? I can't play a clip from The Simpsons. Hold on. 78% to level 1 with a minute and a half left.
What's your regular jobs?
Well, I work for the state. I was working for the state, correction officer, and I was a part-time police officer. And so I gave up both of those jobs.
Don't forget private investment.
Do we have time for an accordion solo? Yeah, sure, why not? I don't feel like doing the I'm being annoying bit today. I really don't want to annoy people. Rageology, thanks for 100 bits. Discordant Vol with 100 bits says, desperation. If your life is falling apart, it's easier to think that the world is ending rather than try to fix it. That's depressing. 90% to level 1 with 30 seconds left.
Investigator.
Well, in between that, yes, and I had my own business as a PI, private investigator, licensed by the state of New York.
And so you quit those jobs?
Yes, I did. I gave up my business, and I resigned from both of my jobs.
Chromatic Cuttlefish with 100 bits gets us to 97% with 10 seconds left. Says, Hannah, available for weddings, birthdays, and bar mitzvahs.
How long ago was that?
2 months now? About a month and a half? Yeah, well, no, about 2 months. About 2 months. Yeah. Yes.
So, I mean, that alone shows how sure you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That was a big, move to make.
Right. And how about you? Did you have a profession too?
No, I'm a housewife.
Now, do you guys have kids?
Yes.
2 boys.
2 boys.
2 boys. Oh,
yes. They're here with us also. They're in a caravan, or one is in Walmart.
One is in the store shopping.
Yes.
Well, that's cool. Well, so yeah, you definitely do. And so I guess if that just shows how sure you are, because if
that's correct.
If what would happen, I guess things would be kind of difficult if nothing happened, because you wouldn't have your job or anything. Huh? Yeah.
Well, we don't worry about that because we know it's absolute. So that's not even something for us to even think about.
Very good. Well, I have to tell you, I'm so inspired to see what you guys are all doing to try and help other people. I think no matter if you're, even people who aren't believers, I mean, they must know that you're doing this to help them. I mean, I just really have to tell you that
Andy Pretzel says, now imagine being a teen who believed this. Imagine you're told everyone who has wronged you at school is Imagine you told off everyone who's wronged you at school in a massive bombastic way, then go home knowing it's over, but anyway, then time comes and nothing happens. You have now made yourself the crazy kid at school come Monday. Cults destroy people, man. That's almost the plot of Max Keeble's Big Move, but not quite. Not the religious cult crazy thing, just getting revenge and then not getting to leave.
I mean, even if nothing were to happen, you don't see people who are so dedicated to helping other people.
Because we are commanded in Ezekiel 33:3 tells us we are to warn the world. We are commanded by God to do what we're doing now. This is not something we're doing just because we wanted to. We are commanded by God to do it, and therefore we have to do it.
Mix FM, it was called, I think, in Terre Haute, Indiana.
Okay, cool. Now, how did they get your
Well, they contact Kevin Brown, and Kevin called me up one night. He says, Harry, I think you can do this. He said, would you mind calling this radio station and arranging an interview? He said, find out what kind of format they are, make sure they're not one of those crazy morning shows where they mock you and, give you a hard time. I said, well, if that starts, I'm not going to talk to them. So I called, and Jay seemed like a very nice guy. He says, no, Harry, we're not going to do that. It's just questions about this 21st. We want to know about it. We want to share it with our readers. Our listeners, rather. So anyway, I called, and it started going well. I started to open my heart up again, and I prayed a lot before the call came, because I wanted God's words to come off my lips to show His love and compassion of everybody, which I think I did a fairly good job for Him. Me, it doesn't matter, but I think I instilled, and I told them that I care about all your listeners in that town of yours. That Saturday will be too late to cry out. They got to cry out today and tomorrow. I said God has no pleasure in bringing His wrath on this world.
Okay. I think I've had enough of this documentary. I'm sad enough. Here's a link to it if you want to watch the rest of it. We're 50 minutes and 30 seconds in. Is there anything else short I want to do while we're still going? Nah, I think I'm done for today. No, I should keep going. I've been trying to do longer streams. I'm gonna keep going.
Leave. Debbie
Boy, Jonathan Frakes really let himself go.
Solaris is an ET contactee, interdimensional traveler, galactic historian, and after a very fateful
ridiculous job title on the bingo card.
Regular
contact with aliens on the bingo card. Lily Lovestuff says, Rip Art Bell George Norrie will always be an They had very colorful orifices, and I don't know why. Saving this for next time. Alright, I do think I'm actually done for the night. My ADHD is hitting me real bad right now, and I'm unable to focus on anything, and I don't think that's fair to you guys. So, if I can't put it all into it, I might as well just call it a night. Alright. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.